streak against top 15 teams on the road. Meanwhile, the Sooners trying to win their second straight matchup against a top 10 team. Got to stop that offense. Tennessee hasn't allowed an offensive touchdown in their last 16 quarters. That's tied with Georgia for the longest active streak in FBS. The longest streak by any FBS team over the past 20 seasons is 17 straight quarters, so history could be made. Oklahoma, 6.5-point underdog at home, according to ESPN Bet. The Sooners, they've not been this big an underdog at home since 1998. This will be Oklahoma's largest underdog role as a ranked team at home since the FBS-FCS split in '78.
Look at Coach Corso getting the crowd fired up there in Norman, Oklahoma. Now listen, he has chosen the Sooners 18 times. He's gone 11-7 with those picks. He's chosen the Vols 7 times, 5-2. But he's perfect on the season. He's firing them up. Let's fire the teams up.
Hey, let's go! Tonight, men, leave nothing. Leave nothing. Burn it all.
That man next to you is somebody that gots to have it today. Every play counts. If they holler, you pick them up.
Blow by blow, shot by shot, you strike them and you knock them down.
This man, pride, take the pride. What more do you want?
You are diamond. Go be diamonds tonight.
Everything you got for 60 minutes. That's how you finish.
Ugh. I see why they call this the Sooner State. I'd sooner be literally anywhere else.
Guys, this ain't the only team to volunteer to get this ass whooping. Next week, it'll just be someone else.
No one else knows this place like our coach. The last time OU won anything, it was with him at QB.
He is not him. Otherwise, he would still be employed here.
Temple, Houston, Tulane. 3-0 looks great when you haven't played anybody. Don't believe the hype.
Bull! They're 3-0. They beat Kent State last week. Easy to beat a fake state 71-0. Ever seen Kent on a map?
They're only in the SEC because they were the go in BOGO. Buy one, get Oklahoma. We only wanted Texas.
We were paying players before it was cool or required, or if you're them, before it was taxed.
Tennessee announced it's imposing a 10% talent fee.
This is absurd.
You'd have to pay me to live in Oklahoma.
The volunteer state? Huh. I volunteer to live anywhere else.
Our QB is about to be a household name everywhere in the country, even if these Sooner simpletons can't pronounce it.
Nico, what's the big deal? I don't see it.
This is a ranked matchup, but you're the only team in the top 10 I see.
I'm sorry, but seriously, a 10% fee? I'm sure their fans are happy to be volunteered for that. From Muskogee to Norman, give me 60 minutes. Boomer Sooner.
The last time they were relevant, these Sooner boomers were newborns. From Johnson City to Knoxville, give me 60 minutes. Go Vols.
Can we talk about that picture? Can we talk about that live Oklahoma headshot?
I'd like to report an assault. I was a little fuller faced back then. I was carrying several holidays worth of holiday weight. Will it be a celebration in Norman? College Game Day is next.
On the Sooner Schooner, a new day in Oklahoma, where it just means more. But the Big Orange comes sweeping down the plain, ready to give the Sooners a rude welcome to the SEC. Oklahoma, the entire state, grabs center stage. The Sooners in Oklahoma State separated by realignment, united against invaders today. Utah comes in with their first Big 12 conference game just 80 miles away. Even the Big Ten headliner has an Oklahoma flavor to it, even when it sounds like a classic Rose Bowl. It is the day when realignment arrives, but the more things change, some things stay the same, because if you're wearing crimson and cream, they are Sooner born and Sooner bred, and when they die, they'll be Sooner dead.
We got a big weekend coming up. Game day's in Oklahoma, first SEC game. I'm pumped to get out there. Boom, Sooner. Saban, Corso, and McAfee.
You can feel the electricity. We love what you got.
Nothing but class is happening.
College Game Day, live from Norman, Oklahoma, is built by the Home Depot. Proud sponsor of college football's premier pregame show.
Oklahoma just oozes tradition. A championship legacy and heritage, but a new chapter today with their first SEC game and coming visiting a guy who was one time the prince of the palace on the prairie, Josh Heupel, who led Oklahoma as a quarterback to its last national championship, comes in trying to spoil the debut with a high-tempo, explosive Tennessee offense. We'll dive into that storyline, which is huge, part of the emotional nature of this day, which will be a warm one and a beautiful morning here in Norman. Glad to have you with us on College Game Day. Reese Davis along with Kirk Herbstreit, Lee Corso, Nick Saban, Pat McAfee, Desmond Howard, who is playing hurt today, Pat. He's playing hurt.
In the hospital yesterday, battling through a back issue. We want to let you know, Des, we appreciate you making a trip out here. You're
How about that?
Now,
you missed it yesterday.
speaking of being out here, if you look down yonder, there's a gold dirt road to a whole lot of nothing. And they got a deed to that land, but it ain't their ground. This is God's country. So I would never in a million years throw up these horns right here in front of these people, especially with how kind they've been. All you got to do is just flip those sons of bitches like this. And then this place goes crazy. And all you got to say is, Boomer! Boomer! Texas! Tennessee! See, you could say any name at the end there, and they're going to say they sucks. We haven't had a full student-packed College Game Day here in 12 years, and you can feel it. And today we're chasing it, Reese. It is a wonderful time in Norman.
Like Herbie said this morning, this is a listening crowd because they know football. They've got a big one coming up tonight.
Boomer! Texas! Anytime.
If they start to wane in the heat today, we'll be counting on you to deliver that.
Boomer! You got it. You got it. Texas! Anytime. Tennessee! They got it.
You know, as I mentioned, it seems like no matter where you look, there are Oklahoma ties. Even the traditional Rose Bowl matchup, a former Oklahoma offensive lineman leading Michigan against former Oklahoma coach Lincoln Riley in USC.
I love that one. Way to tie that one in there, Reese. You know, usually these guys get together. It's in the Rose Bowl. We played 10 times, 8 of those out in the Rose Bowl, but now USC's in the Big Ten. Alex Orji takes over. More of a running approach from Michigan. Will they have to throw? Here's Khalil Mullings, who really can give them that hammer in that backfield with Donovan Edwards. Don't look now. Lincoln Riley has an offense with Miller Moss. They come in with a great deal of confidence into the big house.
In talking to Mario Cristobal this week, he thinks this is the most challenging game for his Canes. Cam Ward has been outstanding behind a good offensive line and developing receivers, but South Florida has a scavenger defense, stunts, pressures, negative plays, turnovers. Gave Alabama fits for 3.5 quarters in the game, and their quarterback, Byron Brown, is a big, strong guy who does a great job with Tennessee spread.
Nailed it, Coach. Big one, Kansas State, BYU. Avery Johnson and the Kansas State team, 31-7 last week against Arizona. Avery Johnson got loose on the ground as well. Running back, DJ Giddens gets it, averaging over 100 yards a game, and BYU was supposed to have a win total of 4.5 this year. They're already 3-0, and that's because of Retzloff under center. He can run and throw. Big one in Mormontown.
Utah versus Oklahoma State. Pete Dallas told me before I
I took the desk that man Cam Rising is definitely a game-time decision because of the injury he sustained right there to his throwing hand. Whoever plays quarterback don't have to get a ball to Mekhi Bernard, who's off to a great start, averaging 7.1 yards per carry. Ali Gordon, guys, when is he going to have a performance against a Pete Ford school? He's struggled so far this season, but Alan Bowman, he's picked up the slack, spraying the ball around, getting other players involved.
Tennessee and Oklahoma, and Josh Heupel led the Sooners to their greatest glory recently. National championship in 2000. He's back, and he's bringing Nico Iamaleava with him. Nico told me this week he's going to see every zone blitz known to man. Now Oklahoma's going to have to keep up. Can they make some explosive plays against that Tennessee defensive front and maybe challenge the Volunteer secondary, which hasn't really had a test up to this point? Now, this is a huge game for Tennessee, too. You realize it has been 18 years and 28 consecutive road losses against top 15 opponents. And then here they come in. That's a long time between. But, Nick, you think about this. Today is when realignment really arrives. These games that feel like bowl games are September conference matchups now.
Right, and I think Tennessee's done a great job this year. They've destroyed every opponent. But at the same time, you know, I think Oklahoma's got a great defense. They played really well on defense. I think if they can get the passing game going on offense, it's going to be a heck of a game today.
You know, Coach, Tennessee has destroyed their first three opponents. Line score 191-13. And they're ranked 6th in the nation right there today. It looks like to me that Oklahoma doesn't have a chance.
Oklahoma.
Not so fast, my friend.
Oh, wait to yourself.
The game is in Norman, Oklahoma. In the last 15 years, Oklahoma has won over 90% of the games he played here. So, something's got to give tonight.
Yeah, there's certainly something. And I'll tell you what, you just not so fasted yourself. You're throwing a Kelly Maxwell fastball for the Oklahoma University women's softball team.
You took her yard.
Right here in beautiful Norman on this day. And I think when you look at this slate and you talk about conference realignment and it being a big one, USC and Michigan being a Big Ten game is obviously something we're all going to have to get used to. But I think USC's defense is also going to have to get used to Big Ten football. The move to Alex Orji, quarterback for Sharon Moore and the Michigan team, I think is an indicator that, hey, we're going to get back to pounding the rock. There might only be 5 pass attempts from Michigan today if everything goes well. And then on the defensive side of the ball, they're going to have to stop Miller Moss. And then you go to that BYU Kansas State team. It's like Avery Johnson for Kansas State last week rushes for 17 times for 110 yards. Right. They're able to move it on the ground. BYU giving up less than 3 yards a carry. Something's got to give their massive slate today, Desmond.
I tell you what, Coach Saban talked about Miami, and I put a star next to that game and I looked at the schedule, USF, because USF, they play all of their opponents, especially the big ones, tough. They played Alabama tough a year ago in Tampa, then they played them tough about 3 weeks ago when I almost spoiled my man Nick Saban's return to Tuscaloosa. They're not going to be intimidated. The moment is not going to be too big for USF. I think Cristobal is right. His team better not take USF lightly because mentally they're like, these are the guys we played against in high school, and this is the school that didn't recruit us to. So they're going to play with a chip on their shoulder. And as far as, let me try one thing.
Yeah.
Boomer! Oklahoma State! So the Cowboys, they got to play and Ali Gordon's been on the milk carton since the South Dakota State game. They got to get him running. Now, he's a Doak Walker Award winner from a year ago. He's the best running back in the country. If he's going to repeat that, it has to start today against Utah.
We got film on that later about Ali Gordon.
We do. And Bowman in his 7th year, you know, he gives him
7th year.
Yeah, 7th year.
Wow, it just sounds crazy.
Yeah, that is a great game, by the way. I think the Michigan USC game is exciting to see. I feel like Lincoln Riley is back to being Lincoln Riley with Miller Moss at quarterback. We'll talk
Lincoln Riley, great coach.
Lincoln Riley out there talking.
Okay, Boomer!
There we go.
Lincoln Riley! Yeah, it works. Literally, that's crazy. We're learning a lot.
That's a theme there. One last theme here for you guys to watch. This means somebody's going down. Now, last night, as you saw, we saw Stanford go on the road and played well. Illinois went on the road to Lincoln and played well. We have some ranked teams on the road today. Utah, we just talked about. Tennessee here. You have USC. We talked about it. Miami and USF. Kansas State on the road. So we have a lot of teams ranked that are going to get challenged today on the atmosphere.
It's
going to be a big day for sure. We've got a lot in store for you. Going to show you just how fast the Tennessee offense goes. Some other things going on today. The red bandana game in honor of Wells Crowther, the former Boston College lacrosse player, 9/11 hero. Michigan State's going to be without a couple of wide receivers in that game. Thamel's all over that. Irish get Miami, Ohio. And how about our researcher Marissa making sure that Cornell gets into the show? Cornell and Colgate right there.
Big brain stuff. I can't even spell most of those schools, but they're really smart. Really, really smart. Big brain.
Ohio State plays its final game of the preseason against Marshall. All that NIL money invested, and now an interloper comes along with an offer that maybe the Buckeyes have a craving for, to go ride with the herd from now on. We'll show you what that is. Also, in Death Valley, you know the last time that North Carolina State won in this stadium, Phillip Rivers was the starting quarterback. NC State has won 2 of 3 against the Tigers. That's noon Eastern time.
McClendon era. You
way back. Way back. Jordan's team tries to do it. And the sturdy Golden Bears, undefeated, going into winless Florida State on ESPN2. Who in the world had that on the bingo card?
Are we good? Back in conference play.
All good now?
LC says they're ready to roll.
Okay, there we go. And boy, the most storied name in quarterbacking gets a start today in Austin. General Booty leading Louisiana Monroe. Arch Manning's also going to play. Get his first start as well. Nick will break down Arch in the film room. The Longhorns leading man, at least for this week. Got a reaction from the crowd on that one. I went to Knoxville this week to spend some time with Josh Heupel, the former Oklahoma quarterback. Complex, deep-rooted homecoming for Josh today as he leads the Vols.
It'll be different just being on the sidelines and having a different visual of the entire stadium. I haven't spent a day on the visitor sidelines.
Josh told me he didn't think he'd even been on the visitor's sideline for a practice.
Yeah, spring game.
That's pretty wild. $55K today?
Yeah, a lot of money, $55,000. I'm worried nobody's ever going to win it.
We got to find an athlete. I messed up.
No, I don't believe that.
No.
We got the Roughnecks here.
Baby goals.
Oh, yeah.
The truth about DIY is you never really do it all by yourself.
Because this setup took 2 videos and a quick demo. You can change your color here. And all of this started here, detoured here, and ended
down here.
And this pizza wasn't delivery. This was.
I wonder if they do have it.
We do. So whenever you start a project,
don't worry.
You're not alone.
We can do this together.
So what are you working on?
Military veteran and USAA member Sam Elliott. I'm Gronk, your new roommate.
Roommate?
Mm-hmm. Wow. I've been trying to join USAA for years.
Gronk, you know it's for the military community and their families.
I know I can't join, but I could live in your house and ride in your truck, both USAA insured. Roomie?
Roomie. USAA, auto, home, life, and bank.
Check this out. Let's say you want to build your own parlay, okay? ESPN Bet now has profit boosts that you can use to increase your winnings. If I parlay this money line with these points and total yards, that is boosted.
Do you want me to boost your latte?
Boost it, baby.
Boost it. Enjoy your boost.
Profit boosts, all new Parlay Lounge, and up to $1,000 in bonus bets with a first bet reset on ESPN Bet.
And done.
Can we just call my dad now? Gorilla Glue.
Of course. Gorilla Glue is incredibly strong and versatile, even outdoors. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
I have a surprise for you.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah. Feast your eyes on this.
Oh, that's
sexy. Feels so new. I want to feel this feeling again and again.
Can I hold it?
How bad do you want to hold it?
I'm not going to beg, but pretty please.
They don't. Go ahead, press a button.
Oh, it's glowing.
Apple Intelligence. We should do this more often.
Agreed.
Rekindle the feeling of love with the new iPhone 16 Pro on us. And feel it again and again with the latest iPhone every year with AT&T Next Up Anytime.
They need their lawn back fast. And you need Scott's Turf Builder Rapid Grass. It grows grass 2 times faster than just seed the lawn. Giving you a stronger lawn. Smell that freedom, eh?
Download the MyLawn app today for lawn care tips and customized plans.
Feed your lawn. Feed it.
You ever notice the more you try not eating the other half of your foot long, the more you end up eating the other half of your foot long? No one can resist juicy chicken, smoky bacon, and creamy ranch. Get the elite chicken and bacon ranch, now at Subway.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Agatha.
Agatha Harkness.
What really happened to you?
Scarlet Witch took every bit of power I had.
Hiya, hun.
So I'm gonna get it back.
How far you've fallen, witch killer. After all these centuries,
I am not the only one that wants to see you burn, or hang, or drown.
there are no new options.
Agatha All Along. Now streaming only on Disney+.
College Game Day is built by the Home Depot. How doers get more done. And in part by Buffalo Wild Wings, the official sports bar sponsor of ESPN College Game Day. Let's go Sports Bar.
Oklahoma put up a set of uprights, goalposts. They let them get ready to try to win Pat's money today. There are people who've been practicing.
That's good time investment. $55,000. Win a lottery, get a ticket randomly chosen. Maybe you can kick a field goal on TV, or you can embarrass your family.
Yeah, just tie your shoes if you're going to be up there.
The Old Crimson for the 307th consecutive game day appearance. Now, Washington State played San Jose State last night. 3 games on Friday night, decided by a grand total of 11 points, and it took 3 overtimes. And we start with Wazoo against San Jose State. Boy, what a night John Mateer had. Mateer had 501 yards of offense and 5 touchdowns. San Jose State had a chance here. They're up or they're down in the 2-point conversion after that, and Nehemiah Tololo's team, they get the touchdown. Now they got to force triple OT.
Wow, tricky game for Washington State, playing this kind of team after the game last week against Washington, but they find a way here late. Defense finally gets a stop. They hold on by 2.
Huge win.
And they remain undefeated after that big stop against Washington at the end of the Apple Cup, too. Stanford and Syracuse. Stanford Steve was locked in. Ashton Daniels to Elegant Matters. The men of the farm up 7-0.
Men of the farm bringing new unis into the dome. They look all right here. But here goes Kyle McCord again, not only with his arm, but what's this? Into the air.
John Elway.
Marvin Harrison tweeted, boy, that's the most athletic thing I've ever seen.
Syracuse up by 1. Daniels, now look, this is a 4th down play about the back shoulder.
Back shoulder brought him back, sets up the field goal. Kicker.
Take a penalty, too, before this false start. Back it up 5, still knocks it through. Stanford undefeated in the ACC.
How about that?
That's on top.
AC tree.
Okay. 400 consecutive sellouts for the Children of the Corn. Wonder what they think of Nebraska here. Tied up with Illinois. Dylan Raiola to Isaiah Nair, Texas transfer, 17-10. How about Luke Altmaier?
Luke Altmaier's been through so much, and it's so great to see him fight through and have that perseverance. Had a night of his life last night on the road in Lincoln. They take the lead there in overtime.
Hey, what do you have in the playbook, Nick, for 4th and 29 in overtime?
Not.
Pick up the blitz. I know he's got a 2nd and 26.
Yeah, we know that.
And he's got a 4th and 31 in regulation.
Right.
But
you got to have the grave digger, man.
Hey, Brett Phelan getting things done. 4-0.
Yeah,
4-0.
Hey, bring in pressure on that 4th and 29 too, by the way.
They're playing for a big bronze pig. Iowa and Minnesota, Florida Rosedale.
Yeah, Florida Rosedale was found in 1935. They bet an actual pig on the game. Now it is a 98-pound trophy that Iowa is looking to get back from Minnesota. These two teams play very similar to each other. Caleb Johnson leads the rush for Iowa. Darius Taylor leads the rush for Minnesota. PJ Fleck, Kirk Ferentz, old school, pig on the line game in the Big Ten.
We got Michigan State versus Boston College. Jonathan Smith, first year as a head man in East Lansing. Second road game for Sparty. First was in Maryland, they kept fighting down 27-24, but then won the game on a Jonathan Kim field goal. I like the fight of the Spartans. And there's Bill O'Brien, head man at BC Dynamic. Thomas Castellanos can run the ball, throw the ball, better pass than he was a year ago. And this is a red bandana game. It means a lot for BC.
No doubt about that. ACC and Big Ten, Rutgers at Virginia Tech. Kyle Monangai, second in the nation in rushing. They have scored over 40 points for the first time in these first two games, so they're getting it done. Virginia Tech has a balanced attack. Tootin can run the football. Kyron Jones has the ability, playing much better, more committed to the run game since that Vandy game with the turnovers. It should be a low-scoring, very physical game today at Lane Stadium.
And soon we'll welcome the Buckeyes to the 2024 season, their final preseason game against Marshall. You know, Ohio State hasn't allowed a single snap inside the red zone this year. Not one snap.
That's pretty good.
Now, they've spent a lot of time in the backfield, giving up just 6 points. Now, Marshall comes in with Charles Huff. The idea they're going to pick up their $1.6 million check and do some recruiting.
And I feel good about the players we have. Would love to have some of those guys from Ohio State, too. So if they want to transfer on down, we've got a Tudor's Biscuit NIL, all you can eat. So if any of those guys that run really, really fast at Ohio State like Tudor's Biscuits, I promise you, all you can eat all day if you transfer here. So, but yeah.
We've got Pete Thamel looking in to see just how much Jeremiah Smith likes biscuits.
Yeah, you guys laugh.
You like Tudor's? Is that a good deal?
Oh, my God. It's a West Virginia delight. There's one in Ohio. I think there's one in Kentucky. There's one in Florida. And then there's like 50 in the state of West Virginia. And I don't know how much those boys booze at Ohio State, but if you have a hangover, a Tudor's biscuit sandwich is the remedy. There's a Mary B. It's bacon, egg, and cheese. It's obviously fantastic. There's a Mountaineer, which obviously throws a little extra on there, a little potato hash brown. And then there's the Mickey D, obviously, which is much like a ripoff of the Egg McMuffin with Canadian bacon. But nonetheless, Tudor's is a great place in West Virginia. I think that's a smart play. And Jeremiah Smith should maybe try one before he makes a decision, turning down millions of bucks.
Now, assuming that there's not this mass exodus at halftime to go to Tudor's Biscuit, Ohio State finally gets past the preseason after this.
Yeah, but listen, you can't. Coach would say this: you can't control who you're playing, but you can control how you handle that. Ohio State, they've given up 6 points in 2 games. I think it's the best their defense has done since 75 years ago. Haven't allowed a touchdown yet. Chip Kelly has brought that physicality. So you could say whatever you want about their schedule, and that today they'll take care of Marshall. I just appreciate some teams go play their opponent like these, and they come down. Ohio State, it's a faceless opponent. They're competing against each other. They're 54 points a game, not allowing any touchdowns. It's been fun to watch so far. They're executing very well.
You know, Ohio State has really played to dominate the competition, and I think that's so important to what is your capability gap? How are you playing relative to what you're capable to, or are you playing down to the competition? And they've played great so far this year, and I think that's going to benefit them down the road when they play more difficult schedule.
Yeah, I think it's important for you to play to your standard, and that's exactly what the Buckeyes have been doing so far. I mean, our Joes are better than your Joes, and we're going to go out there and show it, which is wonderful. They're taking care of business. They'll take care of business again today. I just wonder about when they are tested, how they're going to respond. It's great to see that your guys can now play teams that they're better than, but as a coaching staff, you still want to know how guys are going to respond to adversity, because they spent $20 million in the offseason bringing in a lot of different pieces to this puzzle. Until you're actually tested and go through just a little bit of adversity, you don't know how those pieces are going to respond.
It ought to start soon. I mean, Michigan State's been surprising. We'll find out about them tonight. They've got Iowa coming up after that. They've got Oregon in the not-too-distant future. So Brutus is going to have a little bit of a start.
And remember last time they played Marshall was 20 years ago. Mike Nugent hit a last-second field goal from 55 yards to win that game.
Huntington, tough place to play down there in West Virginia. They got dogs barking down there.
Where did Mike Nugent play his high school
That's
football?
at Centerville L.
Wow.
Along with A.J. Hall. Yeah.
And
myself.
And Nick Mangle.
Another Big Ten power has already made Stanford Steve. You see the smile of this guy right now?
I know, yeah.
Cardinal win.
I didn't see those orange glasses this morning either. From the orange glasses.
Wow.
Shots fired.
6-3, too.
In the truck.
AC Tree, 6-3.
Let's
go, Steve.
Like LC says, when you lose, like last year, you say little. When you win, say less.
I disagree. Wow. You are winning, brother. Let's go.
Let them know.
You mentioned the Big Ten, Penn State, obviously. This is about the other team. We won against Kent State last week, getting 49 with Tennessee. We're going to take Penn State. That coaching staff always seems to know when they need another touchdown, too, late in the game. So we're going to lay the 48.5.
Whoa.
That's a lot.
Hey, Tennessee had that covered at halftime against Kent State.
Good one.
Well, Tennessee is an incredible football team.
Yeah, with a fantastic coach.
They're listening. Every word.
They're sitting there.
They're literally listening to every single word. This crowd is awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys. All right.
You know what they're
You are
like,
a master at keeping the crowd involved.
Hey, 1,000 degrees out there.
Wonder what we think about Oklahoma wide receiver Deion Burks, who'd like to catch a few more big shots down the field. If you could, you take a look at our Geico fan cam showing you the greatest fans in all of college football. And we say good morning to Jess Sims. Jess?
Hey guys, I'm here in Norman, Oklahoma at the Midway Deli, and let me tell you, you just never know who you might bump into and share a sandwich with. Just legendary coach Barry Switzer here. Coach, how are you today?
Great. Welcome to Midway Deli, my favorite place.
Yeah, tell me, you live a mile down the road. Why is this place so special to you?
All the college kids and I come down here, and it makes me feel young to eat here.
I absolutely love that. Now, you have a very special connection with Coach Corso.
I have Lee Corso is a good friend. We go back many, many years. 1972, we both visited for the Michigan State job at the same time. It's Open Duffy Doherty resigned. We both visited the same day, had an interview, and on the way back to the airport, he asked me who I thought to get the job. I said the guy that did get the job there was the assistant coach. They kept all the continuity, everything in place.
Well, I love that. Now, if Coach Corso had his own sandwich here, what would be the main ingredient, you think?
A doubt. Bologna.
We're going to end it on that note. I'm going to finish enjoying this sandwich. There is so much more coming up on College Game Day. Don't go anywhere.
All right, Tina, 6 is hard to beat.
Not for us.
Okay, not soccer, but
Football.
Yes. We honeymooned here.
Mallorca.
Yes. Pass.
No, we don't pass, Tina. Come on.
They help give you more.
A tax professional.
And they have a 97% satisfaction rating.
Salami.
You could have done it in a British accent.
That's helpful, Randy.
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
Well, the gang's all here. Let's hit the road.
It's the Disney Plus Blockbuster offer.
That's right.
$1.99 a month for 3 months of Disney Plus.
That's a great idea.
Get the hottest shows.
Great, you can say that again.
Biggest movies.
Ready?
Hit it! And most epic events.
What happens next?
For a limited time, get 3 months of Disney Plus for $1.99 a month.
Join me.
With the Disney Plus Blockbuster offer.
Today, let's paint with Behr, America's most trusted paint brand.
Wait, we don't have Behr.
Well, with Behr, you can paint a whole room for under $100. How much did you spend?
More?
I thought you said you researched this.
Don't overpay for your next project. Get Behr quality at an everyday low price. Only at the Home Depot.
You never want to lose your edge. And the Lexus RX completely understands that.
DSG, family clothing and gear priced to win. Only at Dick's.
Hi, we're Visible. We offer one-line wireless plans with no hidden fees for just $25 a month on Verizon's 5G network. One flat rate every single month. Unlimited data included. Your wireless should be visible. Cue the confetti. Switch at visible.com.
An ABC college football doubleheader. At noon, NC State at Clemson. Then, UCLA at LSU. Today at noon and 3:30 Eastern on ABC.
This time I used help.
What do you do when your tire goes flat?
and there's no air anywhere. You reach for Bullseye Pro, the smarter, faster, hands-free way to fill it up with air. Bullseye Pro is equipped with a rechargeable lithium-ion power plant. So fast and so convenient. It's like the power of an air compressor in the palm of your hand. Look, you can inflate all 4 tires on a single charge. It has a built-in smart pressure digital sensor that gauges and automatically stops when the set tire pressure is reached. Easily inflate pool toys, exercise balls, and more. Call or go online now and get the complete Bullseye Pro inflation system for the factory direct price of just $79.99. Plus, we'll ship your entire order free, and we'll give you a 50% discount on a second one. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-716-2181. That's 1-800-716-2181, or go to getbullseyepro.com.
The place where legends are made. This is a huge game.
To the end zone. Touchdown.
I don't think this is a big secret. Next Saturday morning from Tuscaloosa, Georgia and Alabama, a top 4 battle. We'll be there for that. Can't wait to get there. We're having a great morning here in Norman. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear is more driven. Even here in September, we've had some teams put a 1 in that loss column in summer, hanging on to that 0, Pat.
Yeah, you're damn right they are. Let's look at the top 6 who just so happen to be the undefeated big dogs of this college football season, the Texas Longhorns. A place that is obviously beloved here in Norman, Oklahoma. Have 2 quarterbacks that can lead their team to a national championship potentially. Say hello to a good problem, Sarkisian, the Georgia Bulldogs. Hey, 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 hey. Struggled last week against Kentucky. What's that mean? Are they bigger, stronger, faster than ever? Potentially. Ohio State has a freshman running all over the yard. 2 running backs that can take it over. Alabama. You got a field named Nick Saban Field. It is obviously phenomenal. The crowd down there is expecting greatness. Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin's talking all of his shit right now. And then the reason why we are in Norman, Tennessee, undefeated with Hypo at the lead and Nico Iamaleava spinning it all over the place. And then there's one other undefeated team that hasn't been talked about, and it's right here in Norman, Oklahoma. But they're ranked 15th, you see. The other teams are top 6. They're ranked 15. They want some respect. Today is how they can garner that. Reese, we got a great start to the season, brother, with some bangers happening around here.
And you've got all these teams. You're believing in all of these teams. That's easy, right?
How do you do that?
How do I do what? I broke the thing, actually. I broke the thing. I can't open it now. I was a little aggressive.
Now we've got to see if it's in the budget to get Pat a new pointer for next week.
No, but how could you not get excited about that, though? Like going into the season, all these fan bases hope, teams invested. Here we are sitting in there, and there's only a few that are left, and they're the dogs of college football.
But I really think that the top 6 teams so far are the top 16. I think that's right. But there's somebody coming out of the rest of these teams that are going to rise up and sneak in there, and some of these teams are going to beat each other. So it's still going to be interesting.
So like an Oklahoma.
How this season,
like Oklahoma fits in that.
Absolutely.
Like an Oklahoma.
So is that right, Mr. Coach Nick Saban? There are other teams that could come from nowhere, and teams that maybe you might want to buy stock in, because the idea of the stock market is to try to buy low, sell high, or see what you can get. So if I gave you Rutgers as a stock, Desmond Howard, are you buying or selling Schiano's team? They've got Virginia Tech today. Not just today, for the season.
I want to buy low. I don't think people are really paying attention to this stock. So I would buy Rutgers. I have a lot of confidence in the coaching staff and what Greg Schiano brings, and I like their schedule. So I would buy right now.
Pat, we know you like to give your money away, but are you going to spend some on the mighty Panthers of Pittsburgh?
I'll tell you what Eli Holstein and Cade Bell are doing on that offensive side of the ball is something that Pitt hasn't had under Narduzzi. Now, a lot of people say a lot of things about Narduzzi. His defense is normally going to be sound. They now have an offense, seemingly, and their fans are going to games. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
And they're excited for good reason. I think it was a great hire this offseason. I'm buying the Pitt stock.
But we had Eli Holstein at Alabama. Yeah. This is a fine young quarterback, and I think that's the answer for Pitt.
Awesome. Okay. Buy that too. Coach backs that up.
Don't sleep on Desmond Reed.
Yes, amen.
He's been leading all of those late
Tony,
comebacks now. Now you got Kenny Dillingham and Arizona State. They've got Texas Tech today. Undefeated start, surprising. Buying or selling, Herbie?
I like what Dillingham brings. You know, he's got a great understanding of how to attack defenses. They've been a big surprise. They can run, they can throw. I would say if you look at their schedule and the conference that they're in now in the Big 12, a lot of people associate, you see that symbol, you still think out west. These guys are in the Big 12. I like this schedule, and I like his offensive mind. I'm buying that. I'm buying that stock.
Okay, a lot of buying. Spending money. Stock market's good.
Everybody's going up.
Everybody's going up. So, are you spending money? Or are you buying Cal? They're at Florida State today, Nick.
Well, you know, I kind of like Cal. You know, to go into Auburn and win at Auburn, it's really tough to do. They've got really good defense. Defense travels, so they can play on the road. Yeah. And I don't really think anybody other than Miami, is really proven that they're a dominant team in the ACC. Yeah. So I do think Cal has a chance. I'm buying.
Who's favored in that game today against the Seminoles? Who's favored?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure who's favored.
I think the Noles may be favored.
Who's winning that game today? Yeah. Can they beat Florida?
Florida State's been favored all year. They haven't won a game yet.
No way.
I think they're favored by 2.5. We can get Steve on that. Okay, now Wazoo, couple of thrilling wins. Herbie, buying or selling?
Oh, man.
Come on, man.
Look at their schedule.
Battle tested, bro. Hey, battle tested.
Just because Coach Dicker's angry all the time, which I appreciate.
He wakes up angry?
Yeah, I love his competitive fire. I think the players got a chip on their shoulder this year.
Yep.
I don't even know if it matters who they're playing. I'm definitely, of all the teams we've looked at so far, I'm definitely buying Washington State because I think, again, getting left out of the Pac-12 and going to the Big 10, ACC, the Big 12, I think they are together on this. I'm buying that.
Okay. You're buying him too?
Yeah.
You're buying him too?
I would buy. Okay. He's your schedule.
You buying him too?
Oh, I've seen the slide.
Somebody got to say no because he's about to say something. No, I'm just going to tell you.
You're going to
I'd probably buy them, but you cats are a broker's dream. I mean, they start taking their commission out of you guys. You're buying everybody. Let's buy them all. We believe in everybody. Everybody's good. Everybody's good.
I don't mess with the stock market, Reese, for that exact reason. My money's sitting in a bank, getting 0.004%.
There you go.
He's into private equity.
Bingo, that's what I'm trying to get to. Okay, all right.
This is the College Football Playoff National Championship Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper. Sooners would love to make a statement against Tennessee and get into that playoff and bring that baby back to Norman for the first time since Josh Heupel was the quarterback. Not much has gone right in the state of Florida for either the Gators or the Seminoles. Both have tests today, so how will they turn it around? Can they, or what's next? Both places. Jen Latta has a great story on Oklahoma star linebacker and character Danny Stutzman, showing you his one-of-a-kind car.
Your wall is completely undefended.
Okay.
You need Bear Dynasty. Here, here, and here.
But it's almost game time.
It goes on in one coat. It really has it all.
I sure do love that color.
You would.
Electrified. Hungok Tire.
You know, Coach Prime, it's nice to finally have some free time. Gives you a chance to reflect on the important things.
Like how Aflac pays people money for the expenses health insurance doesn't cover.
Health insurance does leave a gap.
But Aflac gives people money to help close that gap. Oh, Coach Prime got one on the line too, baby.
See, that's how you hold up a trophy. Trust me.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover. Aflac is an official sponsor of ESPN College Gameday.
I hope y'all hungry.
I'm glad I brought my own dinner.
Fans change everything. Your passion turns parking lots into rites of passage, ball fields into battlegrounds, and moments into monuments. Introducing Game Change, a way for fans to turn spare change into positive change for the teams they love. Enroll your credit or debit card, take on your rivals in a competition of giving, and turn every purchase into a chance to win prizes. Sign up, choose your school, get in the game. GoGameChange.com.
On a Longing, Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Ramon, what are you doing here? Texting another conference now.
Yeah, but it's like on the other side of the country. It's really, really far.
But you're not even on our schedule this season.
Maybe we can meet you in the playoffs.
That's crazy talk.
You know what else is crazy? Getting all that Dr. Pepper flavor with 0 sugar.
But Dr. Pepper doesn't have a questionable secondary like Tech does.
Here, catch!
And that's why you're a mascot.
College football, it's a Pepper thing.
Order Pizza Hut now and get a free large pizza later. That's a free pizza on your next order. So you can pizza now, then pizza again. Free pizza means your next dinner is covered. Your future self will thank you. Get it while it's hot. Only at Pizza Hut.
I'm Richard Karn, and I love my hose. It ain't those old hoses. This is my hose. The new Pocket Hose Copper Bullet, now infused with real copper, so your water is always clean and lead-free. Just turn on the water and watch your hose grow and grow. And when you turn off the water, away it goes. Our new inner tube uses 3 layers of high-strength latex on the inside. Then it's wrapped in a new polymer filament jacket, 3 times stronger than the other hoses. But my favorite part of our new hose build, the oversized, easy-to-grip fittings. Get the super light 25-foot Pocket Hose Copper Bullet today for only $29.99. But wait, call now and get our copper spray nozzle with our exclusive thumb drive free. This is an exclusive release of our newest Pocket Hose. Order now.
Call 1-800-493-3167. That's 1-800-493-3167 or visit copperbullet.hose.com. Order now.
Tomorrow on Sunday NFL Countdown, before Kirk Cousins takes on the Chiefs, he goes one-on-one about his future in Atlanta.
You expect to play well enough that there wouldn't really be wanting to look elsewhere.
And we go big on the art of the thick 6.
I'm just not a regular big guy. I got hands.
It's Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. Back to you now in Oklahoma.
All right, Greeny, couple of games on Monday Night Football. Trevor Lawrence and our Jaguars take on Josh Allen and the Bills, 7:15 on ESPN and Deportes. Then Jaden Daniels and the Commanders against Joe Burrow and the Bengals, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC and ESPN.
Here we go, Bengals, here we go.
How about this battle of former Bayou Bengals there? Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels, both Heisman Trophy winners who put up huge numbers. And their alma mater has a game today in Baton Rouge, taking on UCLA, Pally, part of our SEC slate. Now, Garrett Nussmeier, who sees those murals of Burrow and Daniels every day in the quarterback room, led a big comeback against South Carolina. Bruins are the lowest scoring team in the Power 4 conferences, averaging just over 14.5 points per game. Small sample size, though.
Yeah, LSU been tested the first couple games. I think it'll really help them continue to grow.
Ole Miss and Missouri, both big favorites. Mizzou against Vandy. Hey, the one thing about the Ole Miss game, former USC coaches Lane Kiffin, Clay Helton, head-to-head Georgia Southern, and they also are the first 2 games on SC's schedule next year. Arkansas and Auburn have a history of turning this meeting into a theater of the absurd. See if Arkansas can take advantage of turnovers. Auburn's lost 9 of them, 3rd worst in America. And the Dan Mullen Bowl, Florida and Mississippi State. Now, Starkville has occasionally vexed the Gators. Bill Napier saying this is going to be Graham Mertz's team. Blake Shelton and those receivers didn't do enough against Toledo. They got whacked. The Dogs, led by former Oklahoma offensive coordinator Jeff Lebby now, as they try to get right against Florida. Pete Thamel joins us right now. And Pete, it's been a big topic of conversation. What's the latest going on at Florida State and at Florida?
Well, Reese, we'll start at Florida. With that 7-game FBS losing streak and 2 home blowout losses to start the season, the overwhelming expectation remains Billy Napier won't return next year. The question remains the timing of that potential exit. If you're going to fire a coach this early in the season, Reese, you have to have a clear path to get better, and Florida does not appear to have that. There's no obvious interim on the staff that could spark this program. There's also, Napier's the primary play caller, so you'd really have to change out 2 coaches, which is difficult on the fly. As for the troubles in Tallahassee, Mike Norvell told me this week that they're going to ride with DJ Uyunglele. They believe in him. Opposing coaches who played the Seminoles told me 2 key things, Reese. One is that DJU has really struggled reading the pre-snap picture, and that's limited what Florida State's offense can do. The other is the struggles on the offensive line. They've had 8 different starters on that O-line so far this season. Opposing coaches have been really underwhelmed by that unit's physicality. One piece of good news, Reese, left tackle Darius Washington returns today, but they will be without right tackle Jeremiah Byers, so the Ferris wheel continues on the FSU O-line.
Well, you know, just when you thought it couldn't get worse, they had the post-game news conference last Saturday, and some alarm went off telling everybody to evacuate the building. I think most of them have abandoned ship by now for Florida State with that 0-3 start, and they have Cal. But Nick, let's start with Florida and the perspective and the history that the Gators have, and what's going on there. What would it take to get it right?
Well, I think maybe the problem isn't the coaches. You know, they've been through 4 coaches since Spurrier and Urban Meyer, who both created a tremendous culture of winning there. And sometimes the fan base can just think, well, we can show up and expect to win and not make the commitment to the program that you need to make to be able to continue to make the changes and investments you need to make to keep up with changing times. And things change. They should have taken advantage of building better facilities when Urban Meyer was there. What's their collective been like? How have they adapted to this, new model of college football? So it's not just the coaches. When you've been through 4 coaches and haven't had success, there's something else that people should be looking at. Now, when it comes to Florida State, they've always taken the microwave fix, I call it, to take a lot of guys from the portal. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, especially when things go bad. Those guys were all in the portal for a reason. So now you take these guys out of the portal, things don't go the way they thought they were going to go, and maybe you don't have the kind of culture and leadership on your team and the people buying into the leadership that you need to be able to be successful. So this is a real challenge for Mike.
Yeah, I think that's a big challenge right now. It's very evident with Florida State. And if you look at Florida, boy, it's amazing to think about those 4 coaches and you start to think about it a little bit more, because consistency and guys understanding what, off-season programs like, what the schemes are like. That continuity, and I think they've just lost their confidence, Des, overall. Think about this. This program in the last 10 years, they average 7-5.
Right.
Florida Gators, 10 years, 7-5. It just doesn't make sense to my brain. My brain still thinks Florida, and I think about competing for the SEC East and winning a division and getting to the SEC title.
No, you guys bring up some good points, and it takes me back to, I was talking to my sons, right? I was at Michigan with them, and I was talking about the cafeteria. Their cafeteria is incredible in their dorm, like the food that they have. And I'm like, bruh, like I used to eat greasy hamburgers and have to go out there and perform the way I did. You know what I mean? So when you guys talk about facilities, I understand it's an arms race with the facilities, but I like to bring it back to the coaches and the players, especially with Florida State. Listen, Florida, their problem is the expectations were very low and they're hitting the mark. That's their problem. Florida State, I expected more of them with Mike Norvell and bringing in DJ Uyunglele. They haven't hit the mark. I think they play uninspired and they look unprepared, especially when games get tough and the other team is really, putting pressure on them. They seem to crack. And I think that as players, it's not all on coaches, but the coaches, of course, they have to take some responsibility. But players, eventually, you have to take pride in the performance that you're putting out there and the tape that you want everybody to see.
The swamp down there in Florida being a place that everybody desires and everything like that, certainly back whenever I was in college. And I think back to whenever I was in college, I went through some real adversity after missing a couple massive kicks, death threats on my life, thinking about disappearing, not wanting to play anymore, wanting to transfer. I had to go stare down my teammates and get back into that stadium and get back into it. I didn't transfer. I battled through a little bit of adversity instead of leaving, and because of that time, I think I've been able to become the human that I am. And you talk about the transfer portal being a microwave fix. I think there's two reasons why people go into the transfer portal. It's either because there's adversity and they don't think they're going to be able to overcome it and get playing time, or there's a business decision taking place. And when your team stinks, that's bad business and it's more adversity. So the people that you're technically getting that you just got, I think staring both those things down, not good. Got to put the fire out if you're Florida State. Got to put the fire out if you're Mike Norvell. And maybe you're going to start building a program. And I think that's the next iteration of how this entire NIL game goes.
So really, you got to have a vision for how are we going to create value for players. That's what you have to have. And if you're going to have a successful program, you have to create value for players. Why would a guy come to your school if he's not going to be a better person? He's not going to have a better chance to be successful in life. He's not going to have a chance to play in the NFL because you're going to develop him. So how are you going to create that value? And that should be the vision that every program has, and that'll fix these two programs if they go to that vision.
What we're learning about this portal era, and you brought this up on the call the other day, is when things are going well, it's great. Everybody's patting each other on the back.
Exactly.
And then when things start to become that adversity that you're talking about, you faced, and a lot of us had faced that, not having that ability to have roots in the program and have that background of like, I'm going to fight through this for my guys and my school. You're not seeing that. So that's an interesting thing. The other thing I'll say is last thing, the quarterback play. Since Tim Tebow left Florida, think about the Florida. Kyle Trask is pretty good, but that's a long time since Tebow played. They haven't had quarterback. Florida State, Jordan Travis was amazing. Helped turn that program around. Before Jordan Travis, now after, haven't been the same. So they both missing at that quarterback spot.
To your point, people are in the portal for a reason. If you take them out, you better make sure they're in there for the right reason.
Because if you spend money on the wrong guys,
and the other thing too is sitting back thinking that any coaches, many of whom that they think they could get pretty easily, who in my judgment have better jobs, at least in terms of the alignment, the NIL, and the power that they have. Florida's got to get all of that straight if they decide to make a move on Billy Napier, and most of the people around there believe that's an inevitability, though certainly Florida hasn't said
Miami's pretty pumped about all this, though.
They're saying, in the last 70 years, Florida State, Steve, has started 0-4 just 3 times. Norvell did it once in 2021. They start 0-4 today?
I don't think so. When I look at somebody knows something, right? Coach Corso always says, Florida State, I'm following that lead. Give me Florida State.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Just not make any
at some point they have to, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would think so.
You would think
exactly.
Cal coming all the way across again. They've already come across.
Yeah, they already went to Auburn and won. Why aren't they favored?
Yeah.
Makes zero sense.
They're confident.
They got 4 interceptions in that Auburn game.
Yeah, they
helped them out.
Sometimes you got to beat the book.
Great crowd here. Check in on this week's Home Depot Doers of the Week from High Caliber Renovations LLC in Nashville, Tennessee. Coming in to invade with the Big Orange. Still to come, Peyton and Eli's nephew, Arch Manning, makes his debut as a starter. Nick will take us inside the film room and show us what Arch does extraordinarily well and what could improve. Plus, a little something special cooked up to show you just how fast Nico and the Vols offense moves.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. And get access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
The UPS store is more than just a shipping store. We're the pack it, ship it, guarantee it store. We know running a small business takes a lot of grit and hustle. So we're the stress less store and the we've got your back store. Because when you trust us to pack it and ship it, we guarantee it. So it'll get into the hands of your customers safely. Which is why we're the stand by our work guaranteed store. Come into the UPS store today and be unstoppable.
USAA for the military community and their families.
Cut. Sam, I really need to feel that USAA service. Gronkier.
Grunkier. USAA. You could be eligible if your spouse, parent, or even your grandparents served.
That was it. You're in.
As a veteran, I'm already in. You? I wouldn't get your hopes up, son. USAA. Are you eligible?
As a prosecutor, I never asked a victim or a witness, are you a Republican or a Democrat? The only thing I ever asked them, are you okay? And that's the kind of president we need right now. Someone who cares about you and is not putting themselves first. I intend to be a president for all Americans and focus on investing right now in you, the American people. And we can chart a new way forward. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
I just want a simple shopping experience without a lot of obstacles.
Yeah, join the club. And I don't want to be stopped. I got places to go, Cheryl. Yeah, join the club.
I don't have time to wait in line. Got too much on my plate.
Join the club.
Really, join the club where you can shop fast without showing your receipt to exit.
That's good because we're busy. Very busy.
Whee! Shop fast and exit faster with the new exit arches. Sam's Club.
Your record label is taking off, but so is your sound engineer. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
You push it. You try to hold them shut, but your doors won't stay closed no matter what. Introducing Ruby Monkey Magnets. Ultra-thin magnetic plates that will keep your doors and drawers shut. Just peel to reveal the super strong adhesive. Place the monkey, then the magnet, and close. Installation is that simple, and now you have a door that will stay shut. The secret is the ultra-strong industrial magnet's powerful attraction that holds tight. Monkey magnets work on most surfaces and are perfect for cabinets, dresser drawers, sliding closet doors, and more. Even your outdoor problems are solved in an instant because they're corrosion and rust resistant. Call or go online now to get 8 sets of monkey magnets for only $9.99. Due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get monkey magnets at this low price. There is a strict limit of 1 house pack per order. Call now.
Call 1-800-497-4313. Call or visit getmonkeymagnets.com. So call 1-800-497-4313 now.
Approaching the second hour of College Game Day, it is going to be a scorcher, literally and figuratively, in Norman, Tennessee. And the Sooners' SEC Conference game debut for the Sooners against the Big Orange. Oh, Pats with the Roughnecks. Thank you, Gates. With a great cock that thing. Boom on. Boom on.
Hell yeah, Roughnecks! Thank you, Gates. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate you, man. Jeez.
I'm just glad Pat wasn't in the line of fire like he was against A&M, standing right in front of that cannon. Yeah. USC and Michigan meet up today. First time as Big Ten opponents in the Big House. Used to seeing this one in the Rose Bowl. We'll break down what to expect in the regular season meeting. And boy, they win softball titles here at Oklahoma. Patty Gasso, the legend, has a statue here in Norman. Going to break down the swings of Jess and Pat and Nick. And country music superstar, Oklahoma native Sooner fan, Blake Shelton will join us for our Saturday selections. See who LC goes with in his headgear pick as well. Today, Arch Manning will make his starting debut for Texas against Louisiana Monroe. It comes 56 years to the day after Archie Manning made his starting debut for Ole Miss. I think we get a bit of a hint now at where Arch got his speed. Arch broke Archie's record for the longest family run in college. More breakdowns from Nick in the film room.
Nick, not surprising to see Arch Manning get into the game last week, but the circumstances that he had to come in middle of the drive after Quinn Ewers got hurt. What did you see?
Well, the thing I love most about it is the confidence that Sark shows in his players. Right off the bat, freshman quarterback comes in the game. He's going to throw a pass. Isaiah Bond's going to come in motion. He's going to run in the flat. Tight end's going to run a 7. They're going to run a boot with an over route. Arch does a great job of faking here. So the contain man takes the fake, so now he can break contain. Now he's going to read the high-low and the flat. Doesn't have it. Got to look for the over route, which is his next read. Hits it on the run, makes a big play. First play, touchdown.
All right, so you get things started. Now here they come back with the running.
Well, they're going to run the zone play, and they're not going to block this guy. That's Arch's read. He, again, does a great job of faking the ball. 8 chases a dive, so he pulls it, which is his read. Now he shows really good athleticism, kind of like his grandfather Arch, in making this guy miss right here. And then he's going to show really good speed and outrunning a whole bunch of folks to get to the end zone. So in the first 3 plays he's in the game, they scored touchdowns on 2 of them.
And you've mentioned 2 really good reads. Now what about what happens on this play?
All right, this is the hardest thing for young quarterbacks. 3rd down, different kind of looks, odd looks. So they're in 5-man protection here, which means these 5 guys are going to block some combination of 5 guys on defense. So let's just say that's the point, that's who they're going to block. If either one of these guys come, the quarterback's got him. Now, what's his choices? Well, he can put the back on the guy, so you're in 6-man protection, or he's got to throw the ball hot to somebody if one of those guys blitz. Well, he doesn't do either one here. So what's he got to do? Got to see the blitz coming, got to throw it hot. They can only block 5. He doesn't do either one, so he gets his ass knocked off. All right, so he'll learn from that play, no doubt. But that's the hardest thing for young quarterbacks.
Well, what is the benefit, though, of seeing it in a game, regardless of the opponent, as opposed to working on it in practice or seeing it in the film room?
I don't think there's anything like experience in playing in the game. So he's going to learn from every one of these mistakes that he makes in practice, but he's also going to learn more when it happens in the game.
We'll see how much he's learned as Arch Manning makes his first start for the Longhorns today.
In the meantime, Quinn Ewers has put up pretty good numbers as well. In fact, he has been among the leading contenders for the Heisman Trophy, according to those who place odds on such things. Quinn Ewers with the abdominal injury. Pete Thamel, what's the latest on Ewers? How's the recovery going?
Well, Reese, I was told just yesterday that Quinn Ewers' injured oblique has improved significantly this week. We'll get a sense early next week of whether he returns to practice. And a week from today, when we're in Tuscaloosa, I have a feeling we'll be playing the will he, won't he game for the Mississippi State game. What these fans want to know is, will he be back for Red River? And the overwhelming expectation is that he will be back in that game, barring any setbacks. One thing Steve Sarkisian has made crystal clear this week is that Quinn Ewers is Texas's quarterback. There is no controversy. I think he heard the Arch hype train coming, and he made it a point to say we have a national championship team, and Quinn is our quarterback.
Pete, it's funny. A lot of fans, and I understand the appeal. Arch is a tremendous talent, but they're acting like this is Chance Mock out there with Vince Young waiting behind him to get in the game. Quinn Ewers is not some dude they pulled off the Sigma Chi intramural fields. He can play.
Yeah, Quinn Ewers was actually 14 of 16 with 2 touchdowns in the game. He ended up getting hurt and exiting, and Arch Manning comes in there. But let's just look at the reality of the situation. His last name's Manning. Okay, so Quinn Ewers obviously had all the hype coming out of high school. I remember he had to leave Texas to go to Ohio so he could cash in on the $1 million opportunity. Then he comes back to Texas, and he has been elite. We're talking Heisman favorite, first overall pick. I actually reached out, to the Manning operation to get their take on the entire situation, because the reality is, against this Louisiana Monroe team, if Arch Manning throws for 5 touchdowns and runs 20 miles an hour plus again today, the fastest Manning in history, there's going to be calls for him to get on the field. The Manning family said, though, no. They are old school. You never lose a job because of an injury. Arch Manning wants to be in the program for 4 years. He wants to develop. There's no rush to get to the NFL. He loves Quinn Ewers, and they know that's going to be a talking point, but they've already tried to kind of settle that before it even gets started.
But if you go back to even when Arch was in high school and how they selected a school, you were in the middle of that, this is all intentional. They wanted him a little bit in the shadows. They were comfortable with Quinn being the guy, and they still understand and respect who Quinn is to this team. So it's not shocking to hear that that's how the Mannings feel. In fact, I think, you're right, the internet's going to blow up tonight because he is going to go off. But I think Sark got ahead of this. It doesn't matter what Arch does. We're going right back to Quinn Ewers. We're going to go win a national championship. We have huge aspirations for this year. So I love how he got ahead of it instead of waiting till he has a big game and then answering questions on Monday about who you're going to play at quarterback. He's already put that to bed, which I think is great.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys because having been right in the middle of the Manning recruiting, you understand what the dynamics of the family are. And this is a great family. Yeah. And they understand the value of development. Absolutely. And they wanted to make sure Arch went someplace where he was going to have the best chance to develop and in the end be the best player. Not worry about how much he played when he was a freshman 100%. Or a sophomore, but how was he going to develop to be a great player? And he is doing that. And Texas has two very good quarterbacks, which is a real good problem to have.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I tell you what, the timing of the injury to Quinn Ewers could not happen at a better time for Texas. Because now they get a chance as a staff to look at what the future is going to look like. When you have Arch Manning now preparing for a whole week as the starter, meaning he gets to take the reps with the number ones. He gets to lead the meetings. You're going to see how is his field generalship? How is his teammates responding to him? So this is a great opportunity, not only for Arch Manning, but for the whole staff to say, okay, this is what our future looks like beyond Quinn Ewers.
Yeah. You know, this kind of goes hand in hand with the Jalen Hurts Tua situation we have.
Absolutely.
You know, Jalen was 26-2 as a starter, but we played Tua as much as we could because we knew there was going to be a time when he was going to need to go in the game and win the game when Jalen Hurts wasn't available or wasn't able to. So this is exactly what Texas's situation is, which is very good long-term
100%.
because depth on your team is going to have a significant impact this year with all the games you got to play in the playoffs.
I assume Jalen and Tua had a good relationship because what I'm hearing is Arch and Quinn have a great relationship as well, and it's all on purpose.
And think about this. This is not a situation. Think about what's going on with Michigan and Auburn.
Yeah.
They're trying to find a quarterback right now. They're going to the other guy to try to find an answer. Think about A&M. Marcel Reed came in. He fits better in Colin Klein's scheme. Yeah. That's a very unique situation. Here's a guy who got hurt. Superstar who's going to be has a great future, steps in, is going to do a nice job. We go right back to the injured player.
That's Texas.
That's a great luxury to have.
Texas football.
But if you bring the leadership group on your team into a meeting and say, who do you think should be the quarterback? Everybody knows who should be the quarterback.
Amen. That's right.
The fans don't always, they always worry about, I'm hopeful that this guy will be better, but your team knows who the quarterback should be.
You never can fool the players. And you've always heard that adage, if you have two quarterbacks, you have none. Auburn and Michigan would like to try this problem that Texas has right now, for sure. Here are some games coming up on ESPN Plus. The surprising Cavaliers get DeShonta Clears, Iowa State and Arkansas State. That game might come up a little bit later on. Superdogs, not for me. There's Butch Jones leading there. And what we have today in the HBCU slate, North Carolina Central taking on North Carolina A&T, 96th edition of the Aggie Eagle Classic.
Yeah, guys, these teams have been competing against each other for 102 years. I tell you what, North Carolina A&T's quarterback is good at throwing and running, Kevin White, but then NC Central's Jamari Taylor running the ball. This guy has over 480 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season so far.
Battle for the real HU, Howard and Hampton. Last year, Hampton came back from 17 down to win.
Yeah, Howard is Hampton's oldest rival. Hampton has won the last 2 games, but by small margins, 35-34 and 31-28. I have to give a shout out to Howard, though, because it's my wife's alma mater.
Smart.
Gotta make sure things are going better at home now. Jackson State and Grambling, sellout crowd expected at Eddie Robinson Stadium. Jackson State coming off a win over Southern in a rivalry game.
I tell you what, Jackson State, they're expecting a big crowd for this game. I mean, Grambling expecting a big crowd for this game, 19,600. The largest crowd to ever see a game in Tiger Stadium is 25,347.
Man, did you see those numbers for Miles Crawley, the Grambling quarterback? He's the reigning SWAC Player of the Year and off to a great start.
Big numbers.
Buffalo Wild Wings weekend menus and notable HBCU games, and you can see a number of those on ESPN Plus today, including Florida A&M taking on Troy and a multitude of other games. As we welcome once again Jess Sims.
Good morning, Reese. I am here with the one and only, the 2-time All-American linebacker, Rocky Calmus. Rocky, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. How does it feel to be back on campus? College game days here. I mean, look at the crowd.
It's amazing. It's unbelievable. Boomer!
Love it.
Well,
Great atmosphere.
you chose a very special week because at ESPN across all platforms, we are honoring teachers with the Extra Yard for Teachers Week. And as a former educator myself, I taught 5th grade, 3rd grade, and kindergarten. Teachers have a very special place in my heart, and I hear you have the same.
Absolutely. They don't get enough attention, recognition, pay, but yeah, both my parents were educators. My mom was my school nurse for a while. My dad never taught me, but he was a history teacher and a PE teacher and a basketball coach, so they coached me out of the classroom.
Wow.
All day, every day.
Thank you, teachers. Yes, so around us right here, we have some teachers from the Oklahoma City Public Schools, but specifically, we need to give a special gift to the Mary Golda Ross Middle School. We are giving them $5,000. Yes, bring it on over, ladies, yes. Bring it on over, right over here, to help them continue to foster the love of education for their students. So on behalf of the College Football Playoff Foundation, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Great moment there. Great crowd here, and you know who they want to see? Oh, look at Venables got Brent Venables in a headlock. He's going to find out all the injuries. No secret safe.
Get to the bottom of it.
Right.
I can't believe we got Coach on the show.
Yeah?
That's awesome.
The truth about DIY is you never really do it all by yourself.
Because this setup took 2 videos and a quick demo.
You can change your color here. And all of this started here, detoured here, and ended
down here. And this pizza wasn't delivery. This was.
I wonder if they do have it.
We do. So whenever you start a project,
don't worry.
You're not alone.
We can do this together.
So what are you working on?
Open your eyes. You deserve better from your phone service. At Total Wireless, we're fixing that. No more hidden fees. No more surprises on your bill. You deserve to get it all, and that's exactly what we'll give you. Find your local store at TotalWireless.com.
This is not a drill. Subway dropped the price on all their subs. 20% off any sub, any size.
Subway did what? Any sub?
Yep. For a limited time, you get 20% off when you order it now. Hurry and get this deal before it's gone.
What's that? It's electric.
It isn't electric unless it makes you feel something. A luxury EV should understand that. The all-electric Lexus RZ.
Today, let's paint with Behr, America's most trusted paint brand.
Wait, we don't have Behr.
Well, with Behr, you can paint a whole room for under $100. How much did you spend?
More?
I thought you said you researched this.
Don't overpay for your next project. Get Behr quality at an everyday low price. Only at the Home Depot.
Huddle up, stay fit, and fuel your fandom. Enjoy the home field advantage at Fairfield, official hotel partner of the NCAA.
There is nothing like a Wendy's Frosty. It's cool. It's creamy. It's only $1 right now. Wait, what? The one and only Frosty is $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Coach Gecko! Coach G! Laura, Dan! I didn't realize the media would be here.
No, this isn't for work. We're just really big fans.
And we're scouting for our fantasy insurance teams.
Geico has all the top prospects, a 97% satisfaction rating. That's unreal.
Oh my gosh, it's true! True! Smells like insurance.
Suppose Geico does have devoted fans. It's not weird.
Jade, sign my arm.
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
She only signs claims checks.
Oklahoma rolls into the SEC with a top-ranked matchup against high-powered Tennessee.
It's home sweet home and brave new world.
A favorite son returns as a formidable foe, and new stars
Yamaliama dials deep touchdown.
Look to light up the night.
Jackson Arnold has been outstanding.
Number 6 Tennessee at number 15 Oklahoma. Tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC.
College Game Day is brought to you by Geico. Check out College Game Day on social to get more fan cam action.
The first roughneck paddles, introduced back in the 1920s, an iconic part of the pregame. Got custom game day paddles. People get out of line. I'm going to apply those to somebody's backside right here. keep you boys lined up right here. Keep you on country ball changes. Let's check in on the Home Depot tailgate built by Doers. Ray's Barbecue with us today, cooking up brisket, ribs, and Raise the Roof sandwich. We've got an unbelievable crowd out here today. First time we've had a crowd at Oklahoma for College Game Day since 2012, but we were here the COVID year. Creative people. Puns on Tennessee. They don't like anything orange.
Nico Iamaleava.
Atta baby.
Nailed it. How you doing, Coach?
What's up?
Good to see you, man. Hell yeah.
Johnny Majors feels like he was robbed of a Heisman Trophy and wanting to make
whoa, that's rude.
Volunteers, yeah.
That's rude. That's rude. That is to proportion.
And we are pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners, Brent Venables. Brent, you got him out here today, man. They're fired up already. Nick, you got a question for Brent as he embarks on this new era?
Yeah, Brent. If I were in your shoes, I'd be really concerned about what are the challenges of getting into a new league and being into it and having 11 new opponents, in one season. What are the biggest challenges that you see in being in a new league like the SEC?
Well, obviously the competitive depth is second to none, so that's the first challenge. But just getting to know the DNA of all those teams, just as you alluded to, So in January we started pulling a curtain back and trying to learn, one team at a time, what to expect, how they operate, what their cultures are, what their mindset of their teams are, what they kind of, hang their hat on, if you will, as a program. So, and then you have to go through it. As we talked about yesterday, you got to kind of go through the season to figure all that out. But our guys are prepared, man. They're really, really excited, understand the challenge that's in front of us, but that's why we coach and play.
One of the things I think a lot of people are excited about is you have a quarterback in Jackson Arnold who really gives you a chance. He's a young guy, he's still learning, but we've got a few plays here that we can talk about and just kind of work through. You guys, you and Coach and everybody, just kind of hop in and let's talk about what he brings to the table as a quarterback within this system.
Well, this was a game, obviously. We're on the road. We kicked off at 10 a.m. We lost Dylan at halftime. And so Jackson Arnold's got to come in as a true freshman in his first real extended action. And in a really good game, I think we might be tied up right here.
You can go to the screen, too, if you want to point some things out. Yeah, you can go to the screen.
This is a drop 8, and it seems rather simple. You don't have great pressure necessarily. You got 5-on-3 up front, 6 if you can include the back. But they've got 8 guys in coverage, and they're very small, tight windows. And so here he does a good job of not panicking initially. Nothing's there. He climbs the pocket, and he throws with anticipation right over the middle.
Excellent throw.
And that was a breakdown up at the board there.
All right, here we go again.
All right, and so this is an opener here, and we got a little switch concept in the middle of the field. And they close the middle of the field with a high safety here. And so we don't want to throw the ball there now. And he does a really good job of climbing the pocket. He's got somebody.
Look at him get hit.
He's got somebody, hitting him right in the breastplate. And really a nice job over the flat defender here, the third player rather. And puts it, hits a runner with Jalil Farouk to begin that game.
I think people really underestimate the fact that when the quarterback steps up in the pocket, you can attack the middle of the field and make big plays, and you just saw him do it 2 times.
Amen. And then this is probably one of his best qualities. Here they're playing man-free. They've got a 5-man. They're blitzing the back, and they got a wrap backer coming here. There shouldn't be anywhere to go, but he's got good pocket strength. And good functional strength. He runs through some trash. You see they're holding our 2 inside defenders. They missed that call. But he does a great job. He's got great natural instincts as a runner.
And Coach, for Tennessee, this is the danger of playing man-to-man without a spy. If you play man-to-man, look at everybody with their backs turned to the quarterback. And if he gets away from that blitz, Look at all that room he has to run.
And then he's a really good athlete, very undervalued as an athlete. He's got good speed and strength and instincts there to do that as well.
That was awesome.
Yeah, you did really well.
That was fantastic.
Pocket strength, run through
I think
the
that's
trash.
the best we've had so far.
Yeah, that was phenomenal work.
Des, your assist on telling him to get up there on the board.
You have to explain it from way back here, Coach.
No, that was awesome, man.
Coach, I have a question for you. Obviously, we just talked about Jackson Arnold there and the offense. You're a defensive guru, an absolute dog on the defensive side of the ball. 10 turnovers through the first 3 weeks, tied for league leading.
Yeah.
That's something you obviously emphasize, I would assume?
Yeah, we've got an experienced group of guys back on defense. So positioning's good, their aggressiveness is good. We're multiple, so we can create some havoc up front. We've got a tremendous front with our defensive line and then our zone blitz, man blitz, all of our different packages. And it creates a lot of havoc for people, and we've done that for a long time.
Coach is going to talk about later today about the challenges I am as well of defending Nico within the Josh Heupel scheme. You're very familiar with it. Jeff Levy was here. It's kind of from that same coaching tree. What are the biggest keys you have to deal with it? The tempo and those formations and the way they spread you out?
Yeah, well, they put great stress on you with their tempo. You get off the bus and they're running a tempo. So you got to have the tempo defense ready, right? You got to have the tempo defense, and I say that tongue in cheek. But they also put great stress on you vertically. They challenge you vertically. They do a lot of switch concepts. They want to throw the ball down the field. Now that's all to run the ball. And run the ball well.
Yep.
And that's a kind of something it looks like to me they're running the ball better than they have this first couple of years.
Can run.
Yeah, I think the advantage throws they create with the run game to spread you out horizontally makes it difficult for the defense as well, and then they're hitting you vertical.
Well, we say it all the time. Space is your enemy on defense, and they create structurally a lot of space and put you in a lot of conflict.
Hey, they're banning cover 2. I don't know if you heard about it.
And how do you think this tonight is going to compare with whatever the most intense practice battle was between you and Josh Heupel?
Well, here's the deal. Josh wondered why every time we want to move to the field, we always brung field pressure. Yeah. And so we're hoping to be on the right side of that all night. But look forward to seeing Josh. He's got a heck of a team. He's done a wonderful job. And we got a tremendous challenge in front of us tonight.
We look forward to it, Brent. Always a pleasure.
Yeah,
Brent Venables, head coach at Oklahoma, doing a great job on the court and ready to lead the Sooners tonight. And, boy, we've got a great day in store for you. UCLA and LSU this afternoon, just before Tennessee and Oklahoma, and at noon Eastern time on ABC. In the ACC, Clemson hosting North Carolina State. NC State, led by Dave Doran, winningest coach in the history of Wolfpack football. Countdown to kickoff inside an hour and 45 minutes. C.J. Bailey going to get the start for Doran as we check in with our friend Marty Smith.
Reese, NC State head football coach Dave Doran is a relentless advocate for individuals with intellectual disabilities. That stems back to his son Jacob's diagnosis on the autism spectrum 20 years ago, and the consistent hurdles he says his family has faced ever since. So when a young, aspiring football coach who has autism faced hurdles of her own last year, Doran immediately acted and offered hope to a family that felt hopeless. Fall Friday nights in Florida mean high school football. And for 13-year-old Peyton Gibbs, high school football means hope, purpose, and family.
Oh, we can't give that
up. Good tackle, Nick.
She's always been on the football field. I mean, since she was a baby. I mean, like, she's been in a stroller, on the track, and in my arms after games.
Football's a great game, and always been with my dad by his side, and it's a great game to learn and a great game to watch.
She was like, Dad, I want to be a coach. How can I, as a parent, help my kid achieve her dream?
All right. Back to the drawing board, right?
Yep. That was good.
Gotta get better.
Peyton was born August 4th, 2011. Within a year, her parents say they noticed some delays in her development.
She didn't know how to play. And that was really a sign where I felt her behaviors are not probably where they should be. So we had her evaluated, and we were told that she was on the autism spectrum. I'm ready. All right, go ahead.
Years of occupational and speech therapies followed, but little improved her social interactions. Then, when she was 9, a breakthrough came from an unexpected source.
Got the PlayStation for Christmas, so we started playing with Madden, and it was like, okay, like we like at the controller, and then like we threw the ball, and then the touchdown, and then I was like, I can start playing this now.
From there, Peyton's desire to learn the nuance of football was insatiable.
I would be breaking down film, and she'd have her Chromebook, and I'd show her what a tackle was, what an assist was, what a TFL was, and she'd have the sheet with the columns and marking them off.
Okay, so we got GY, counter.
In 2022, Peyton joined her dad, PJ, a defensive coordinator, on the high school sidelines for the first time.
Go. That girl.
Football has helped me because when the kids would come up to me, they gave me fist bumps, they like give me high fives. They love it. They love me being on the sideline.
Then, midway through the 2023 season, citing safety concerns, the school district said Peyton could no longer be on the field for games.
You have to tell your kid that they can't coach you anymore. And it's tough. It was tough coming home and seeing her face every day.
I came home like crying, and I didn't really understand. I was like, why does this happen? Like, why?
Refusing to sit by idly, PJ reached out to an old friend from the coaching community.
It was exciting for me, to see somebody on the spectrum, pursuing what she wants to do and having access. All of a sudden, she was banned from the sideline, and I'm like, well, nobody says she can't be on mine.
Hey, Peyton, this is Coach Doran here at NC State. Just want you to know that you are invited by me and our staff to come be our guest honorary coach.
We have a connection. His son also is on the spectrum, and I think for him it hit a nerve.
I could feel his pain, could feel his anger, his frustration. So I was trying to fight back for them, and not really just for them, but for all the students out there that want to pursue their dreams and goals.
On October 28, 2023, Peyton served as honorary coach when the Wolfpack hosted Clemson.
We went to walk through, did team prayer, and then we walked out on the field, and then we stood there for the whole game, and then I went into the locker room at halftime, which was awesome.
You're watching that, and it's almost kind of like you want to freeze frame it and just kind of live in that moment.
Okay, if that happens, if 3 comes across, come on, Pey.
This season, PJ is coaching at Community School of Naples Prep School, and Peyton is back on the football field alongside her father.
Defense on me, defense on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Good job, good job.
Being with the team is awesome. My dream is to be a coach in college football first, and then if I really excel, then the NFL is a go.
Never give up on your dream, and always lean on people that are willing to help, and never let anybody tell you no.
Doran and his wife Sarah donated $1.25 million to create One Pack Empowered, a program at NC State that assists students with executive functioning challenges. About that day with Peyton 1 year ago, Doran told me I had an agenda, and it was to fight for everyone, because everyone has a gift. And as parents who love our children, it's our job to help them find it. Reese?
And Marty, with so much focus on wins and losses, you forget sometimes the good in the community that so many of these coaches and their families do. Dave Doran certainly leading the way there. About an hour and a half, a little more than that, from kickoff on ABC against Clemson. Wolfpack going to try to keep Clemson from reaching the 800-win mark. Also at noon today on the ACC network, part of the ESPN family, North Carolina 3-0, but they're starting their third quarterback today as Jacoby Criswell will go for the Tar Heels. Be careful against the Dukes, kicking off in just over an hour and a half. You see this ACC schedule. Louisville sort of quietly and a big favorite against Georgia Tech.
Yeah, we're going to welcome them to Power 4 football. They beat Austin Peay and Jacksonville State, but Georgia Tech is going to come with something for them. So better be ready.
And the rest of this ACC slate, we've talked about a number of these games, including Miami and South Florida. But, Steve, you're still in the ACC on the board over
here.
Yeah,
interesting game. Virginia going down to the Teal. Tough loss for Virginia. Calandria has been great at quarterback. He's got over 900 yards passing. They've just really bogged down in the red zone. Coastal's undefeated. I think the line stinks, too. I'm going to take Virginia minus the points. Down on the Teal.
What's their record right now?
2-1. Lost to Maryland last week.
Okay.
But they moved the ball up and down the field.
Scotty Van Pelt got a dub.
Yeah.
There you go.
Been a little frustrated earlier with the Terps.
A little bit.
That's right.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Everybody's a little frustrated with most things.
Yeah, every now and then. Tonight in Boston, one of the great moments in college football, one of the great traditions. They have the red bandana game against Michigan State. It honors Wells Crowther, 9/11 hero, former BC lacrosse player who is credited with saving at least 18 people in the World Trade Center disaster on 9/11. Look forward to that game. Michigan State undefeated, going to be without a couple of receivers, as Samo has reported earlier. Still to come, Big Ten showdown that has a real Rose Bowl feel. Oh my, there's Ricky the Peach Leach getting rid of it. Trojans have had their way with the Wolverines historically. See if they can turn it around. And the Sooners have a dynasty for sure. Oh, look at that. Look at that swing, that rotation into it by Nick Saban.
He was impressive.
Another group project. It's due tomorrow. I hope I can get online tonight. I really need this to pass. The truth is, I can't do this on my own. Connect every student, change every future. Connecting changes everything.
There is nothing like a Wendy's Frosty. It's cool. It's creamy. It's only $1 right now. Wait, what? The one and only Frosty is $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Future-proof your home and garden with AARP today. Harvest the rewards for years to come. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
Being the best takes hard work. It takes early mornings, planning, precision, sweat, sacrifice, and teamwork. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in their game. Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep promises.
As a successful CFO, I have one secret to help you build wealth. You need to be careful who you listen to when it comes to financial decisions. I'm not a CFO, and this is not a penthouse. It's a Nerd Wallet commercial. I'm not even human. I'm cake.
When it comes to your finances, listen to the nerds. We've researched and reviewed thousands of financial products to help you make smarter decisions.
Nerds!
Future-proof your home and garden with AARP today. Harvest the rewards for years to come. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
At Papa John's, we start with better. Like our fresh, never frozen dough made from 6 simple ingredients. And our dough can save you dough. Get 2 or more Papa Pairings favorites for just $6.99 each. Order now on the app from Papa John's.
2 games, more Monday Night Football on ESPN. Duval versus Bills Mafia. And on ABC, we're on to Cincinnati and Washington. Twice the Monday Night Party.
Right now, get 3 months of Disney Plus for just $1.99 a month.
That's right.
Great idea.
Get the hottest shows, greatest, biggest movies, and events with the Disney Plus Blockbuster offer.
If you're over 50, imagine you could turn back the clock on your stiff, achy joints 10, even 20 years. Imagine you could do this without products that just temporarily hide the symptoms and may have side effects. Imagine no more. Introducing Instaflex Advanced. Get a complimentary sample just by texting FLOAT to 42424. Instaflex Advanced is different because it targets the root cause of joint soreness and stiffness. It doesn't just cover up symptoms. Instead, it bathes your joints in its unique combination of 5 key natural ingredients found in no other product. Key ingredients backed by 5 clinical studies. Instaflex Advanced is so powerful, you could have better knees in just 1 week. Maybe that's why it's the #1 selling joint brand at GNC. But you can only get your complimentary sample by texting FLOAT to 42424. Plus, text now and we'll include a tube of Instaflex pain cream with its exclusive oxygenated oil for fast-acting relief from the pain of arthritis, backaches, and sore muscles. Absolutely free. Text FLOAT to 42424.
It's a great conference, the best conference in the country. To have OU and Texas to bring some more competition to our conference.
They got that saying, it just means more. I'm excited to get the full understanding of that.
It doesn't matter the opponent, you know that you're going to have to come in and fight.
Ain't no little boys in the SEC, everybody grown men out there, so.
They will find that playing on the road in this league is unbelievably hard. Pack a lunch when you go play at these places.
It comes down, it just seems like it's all bigger than it is. Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yeah, I think we bring a lot of excitement. Nothing beats that OU brand.
It's the most competitive conference in all of college football. It's second to only the NFL. SEC football, it means more.
And you know what? It's not just football. Oklahoma has a rich history and a variety of sports, and certainly they've had great success in basketball. Doing the basketball program out here. Denny Franchek, women's basketball coach, building on the legacy that Sherry Cole started. Porter Moser, of course, he took Loyola Chicago to the Final Four. Now it's hoping to get his Sooner men into the Final Four someday. And all of them are chasing the excellence of Oklahoma softball. They won 4 straight national championships, 8 of them in all. They are the gold standard no matter which conference they're in for softball, as the Sooners know how to celebrate winning softball championships, and we'll find out just how good they are at developing softball players, Jess Sims.
Sure did, Reese. Yeah, so I'm over here. I mean, you can see on the camera, we went to Love's Field. Unbelievable field, by the way. Brand new, state-of-the-art. Yeah,
How'd girl, Jess?
Casual swing, it's fine. Don't worry, you'll see more of it. With Coach Saban, very comfortable there, as you can see. But now here I am joined with 2 of the greatest coaches of all time. We have Coach Patty Gasso, and of course we have Coach Nick Saban over here. Between them, 15 national championships. Now, Coach Saban, how many do you have?
7.
Coach Gasso, how many do you have?
8.
We made her do that. She didn't want to do that at all.
They made me do that, Coach. They made me do that.
Now, not only do you have 38, you have 4 in a row, Coach, but you also got a statue this past week. 1 statue. When you saw the unveiling and the presentation, how special was that moment for you?
It's pretty surreal. It's to see yourself in bronze, but really the way I look at it is I'm representing all of our athletes. It's not about me, it's about our program. So when people walk in, my hand's out, slap my hand and celebrate OU softball, not my name.
Absolutely. And Coach Saban, you said to the team yesterday that you watched every single World Series game. What's so special about this team and about the sport of softball?
Well, I think the intriguing thing to me is how you all sustain greatness. You sustain success to win 4 in a row. You know, once we won back-to-back, and it was so difficult that 3rd year. So I'd like to know, what was your secret sauce in terms of winning 4 in a row?
I can't divulge that, Coach. No. We believe that people don't believe that we could do it, and the more people might doubt us, the more we're going to show you that we could live in another stratosphere. One thing that the players taught me was the end is already written. And if the end is written, let's just go play. And that's been our motto.
Well, you know, one of the things that I have such great respect for you is I could always motivate our players because they wanted to play at the next level. They wanted to go to the NFL. but your players had to play for your team, and I think that's so special.
Thank you. That means a lot from you, Coach. You're a lot of coaches' idols, so I'm honored to be up here with you right now.
And we were really honored to be at practice welcoming in Pat McAfee because we're going to break down some of our swings. Coach, be easy on us, okay?
No, Coach, I want the coaching. I got that championship mindset like the rest of your team has.
You got it.
That we heard like 30 times. I believe are you going to be, are we showing the, look, here it is.
Oh, right here.
Bella was pitching to me. Okay. And now, this is the hardest thing in sports. That's what they say, Coach. Yeah. I found out.
All right.
Steer right.
Yeah. The tank top has got to go, big fella.
No! Let the arms in.
Your feet are moving a lot.
Supposed to hit the ball, though, right?
Yeah, Kirk, stop! It's harder than
backside. He's got the backside.
Boom!
Oh, that was good, Pat.
God!
That away, Coach.
Now that right there.
Yeah. Perfect.
That is
short,
good
compact.
Fundamentals. Look at that. Nice.
Compact.
That's it.
You like this form?
I love the form.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Guy's 72 years old hitting balls yesterday.
Hand-eye to natural.
Really?
I have no power, though.
That's all right. We'll put you in
My
lead.
power is completely gone.
Oh. All right.
Strong legs. Strong legs.
Atta girl.
Aggressive.
I was focused.
And the jacket tied around the waist.
Fashion,
That's
right?
It.
Fashion first.
while you swing.
But you did tell me, Patty, the second I did it, I made a sound effect. I said,
yeah.
And she said, don't do that.
Don't do that.
No, yeah, we're just trying to boing.
Don't do that.
That's what we want to get that thing to boing. That's what I've heard. That's all we're looking for.
Ella and Hannah, how'd we do? Thumbs up, thumbs up.
One thing's for certain, none of us got any offers yesterday.
Hey, man, brother. Just my dude lights. I was in a bad spot. I was scared to death out there. That ball's coming so fast. There's this riser, Kirk. This thing's coming to your belt, and then bang, hit your face.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal stuff. Massive respect to your team.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
No problem. Hell yeah.
And all kinds of respect when you win the number of championships they've had. Is that true? Oklahoma hasn't won a football championship since Tennessee head coach Josh Heupel was under center for them the second year of the Bob Stoops era. We'll see what type of reaction Josh gets tonight when he comes onto the field leading Tennessee. You know, it is written that a prophet is not without honor except in his hometown. That teaching can certainly apply to college football coaches who try to bring glory to their various alma maters. For every Kirby Smart, there's a Scott Frost or a Mike Shula or a John Blake. And when you're fired by your alma mater, it feels somewhat like betrayal. So 10 years ago, when Bob Stoops fired Josh Heupel as the offensive coordinator of the Sooners, it cut Heupel to the core, and for years there was bitterness that festered. But as Heupel has forged his own path, become a highly successful head coach, it leads him back to this homecoming tonight, which is somewhat complicated, and I discussed with him when I sat down with him in Knoxville this week.
Josh Heupel will bring out the Sooner offense.
Heupel fires a pass downfield. Touchdown, Oklahoma!
A perfectly thrown ball by Josh Heupel. The champions are the Sooners of Oklahoma.
We worked extremely hard, and the season is a product of that work.
What did you think when you saw the schedule come out? Oklahoma's in the SEC, first conference game, national championship winning quarterback goes back to go against him. What'd you think?
There's guys that are on this staff at Oklahoma that I coached, guys that have been in my wedding, and been back to see my family that still lives there, but haven't made it to Norman. And for us, opener in SEC play, this is why you want to be at Tennessee, you want to coach at Tennessee, and got an opportunity to go play a really good football team.
What are the memories of the time there at Oklahoma?
There's so many great memories of me as a player, teammates that I had, what we were able to accomplish as a team, what we did as a staff there at Oklahoma during my time. I'm really proud of what we did. Didn't have the ending that I wanted, but welcome to life and welcome to college sports.
Josh Heupel and Jay Norvell will not be returning as members of the coaching staff here next year.
Bob Stoops said this week you were his most valuable recruit. He said in his book, the day that we're talking about was his worst day as the Oklahoma head coach. How would you describe the relationship you have with Bob Stoops now?
Bob's been a huge mentor. He was my coach, and then worked with him for a long time. And there's so many things that I've taken from him that are a part of what we do here at Tennessee. His passion, his energy as a young coach had a huge impact on me as well.
changed your path? How did it impact the way you looked at coaching, what your goals might have been?
In that moment, probably wouldn't have wanted that, but it gave me an opportunity to reset and to continue to grow as a coach. And from that moment on, I've had a ton of success, really everywhere that we've been.
You mentioned you still have family there. Your mom and dad moved there. I know you lost your mom a few months ago. She was your biggest fan. She would have been at this game.
Yeah.
What do you think you'll have to contend with emotionally going back this weekend with that in mind?
Yeah, she'll still be at the game. She'll be watching just with a different seat.
Let's go compete. Let's start our climb today.
What type of satisfaction do you get and pride in your program going back to the place that's meant so much to you?
I am proud of what our staff and players have built here from the time that we arrived to where we are today. It would be different just being on the sidelines and having a different visual of the entire stadium, having spent a day on the visitor sidelines. I hope that it's really quiet and they respect what we're trying to do. I'm not sure that that's going to happen. It's going to be a fun day.
Doesn't matter who's in the damn game. That's the damn standard. Everybody understand? Yes, sir. All right, let's go play ball. Yeah.
I think the first time I step foot on the grass, I'll have some flashbacks to a lot of great experiences that I had there in Norman, Oklahoma. I'm sure by the time the ball's teed up, I'll feel that we're not in a friendly confine and it'll be time to go compete.
Josh has been getting hit up all week. Former teammates, friends, family, a lot of people here tonight for this one. And you look at how he's been able to take this offense and move fast when they've been at their best. They are at lightning speed. That dates back to his time as the head coach at UCF. Now, we're back out here in the midst, in front of the board, and you hear all the time, boy, Tennessee goes fast. Tennessee goes fast. What we're going to do right now is show you a drive basically in real time from the game earlier this year against North Carolina State. And Nick, you take us through this, the challenges that the defense faces when Tennessee kind of gets their tempo going.
All right, first of all, it's a very difficult preparation to do this in practice. But you're going to look right here on the shot clock. This is the first play, so they're not really going to go fast here. They're going to throw a little play action pass. But now you're going to see how fast they get lined up. What does this do to the defense? You got to get the call in, and you got to get lined up really quickly. Look at the shot clock. They're going to snap it on about 30, which is 10 seconds past the last play. Here we go. You see the defense is barely lined up, late coming on the blitz, hit them with the run. So they're going to keep up this pace until they get in a situation where they don't want to be in this pace.
Defense is looking over, Coach.
Now it's third down. Now it's third down.
Yep.
All right, so he's going to take a look now and see what the defense is in. New formation, squeeze, not spread. Here they throw the little slip screen, make an explosive play, and most of the time...
Coach, look at the receivers. They go right to the umpire, flipping the ball.
2 minutes.
To keep going faster and faster.
They're going to do everything they
Keep an eye
can
on number 3
to go fast. So most of the time they will go fast after an explosive play, but you see one of these offensive linemen a little slow getting
See number 3 tapping out.
But still, look at the shot clock. At 25, they're rolling.
So, Coach, just for fans, what
number 3.
Yep. Being
corners can't tap.
Being stretched from the top to the bottom with the tempo, the numbers in here, right, versus the numbers versus the pass. What does that do?
Sucking wind right here.
What does this do to the defense? What's the biggest challenge?
Well, first of all, get the signal. Everybody get on the same page on defense. You can't change personnel because unless they substitute, you can't substitute. And that's an issue on third down.
What's smart, too, is they looking at the sideline. They just slowed it down. They saw their guys huffing and puffing. Number 3 tapped, hey, I need a break, and they just slowed it down, which is very smart.
But to his point, and just what you're saying, he didn't come out, so the defense couldn't substitute.
Exactly.
So I think Dylan Sampson's kind of the X factor. When this offense is humming, these types of offenses are humming, where they stretch you sideline to sideline. If you have a thumper, this kid runs hard. He's athletic. He gets into space. He gets vertical. I think the running back is the entire key. As much as we talk about Nico in the system, I think him back there, he is really dangerous.
I agree with you 100%.
Great compliment to this offense.
Number 3 in the FBS and rush offense.
He's for real.
100%.
You take advantage of the exhaustion of the D-line and the linebackers. If you're able to pound the rock, you're good. Early in the season, obviously, Tennessee is still trying to get in shape here. They can get a good feel. Because that's why people say it's not sustainable, right? Because it's so fast and your team gets exhausted.
And you can't get off the field. If they don't substitute, you're not getting off the field.
Exactly. Right. And that really has a huge effect here on third down. Like you like to play short yardage defense here, you really can't. They didn't substitute. You can't substitute.
Good play here by that defensive line.
All right, so they stop them on 3rd and 2 here.
Yep.
Now it's going to be 4th and 3.
Okay.
But again, they don't substitute, so you can't put the defense in that you want to play situationally. And now they went fast. All right, but now we're going to go to 4th and 3.
Yeah, right over here is a live shot.
Okay, here's the wide shot of 4th and 3. Now he's going to clap like he's going to go fast. See what the defense is in. Now come up and get the best play, the most advantageous play for the offense against the defense. Now, one thing Nico has to learn here, if he stays in a home position as a quarterback, the defense can't change because you can snap the ball at any time. But once he walks up there and tells the line what to do, then you can change on defense. But they hit him with the place. They convert on 4th and 3. But again, can't substitute on defense. Offense knows exactly what you're playing, and they can take advantage.
Just for the fans at home, you see Aaron Rodgers do it with the hard count. Actually at a cadence, old school. College football, it's a lot of this. Just what does that when that nose jumped and maybe a linebacker move for the fans? What does that do to the sideline when he looks over there and makes that adjustment?
Well, I think
gives him a tail.
The way we call it Reebok, when you clap and don't snap the ball after you're going on the clap over and over and over again, and it creates a tempo in the game. Now that tempo in the game changes. Lots of times the defense will jump off sides. And you can see what the defense is in.
That's when you make the
exactly
adjustment.
what you're trying to do. Make the defense declare itself so you can see what they're in and then take advantage of it offensively.
Another thing about Heupel here, 23, they're 4th and 3 in field goal range, don't care. We are moving, we are scoring. They kick an onside kick up 30 points. I mean, this team is looking to demolish, and there's him dancing. His dance on his face.
Like silent, he's a silent savage.
Well, think about when you make your worst decisions when you're exhausted. So they put you in these situations where you're going to have to be tired. And you talk about subbing and not subbing. Corners are on every single play. So they're running, they're back and forth. You guess one way, they're making a decision after the ball snapped. It's a lethal offense.
With all that going on, if the last play, we kind of started talking, we got away from it, but they're running the ball. All of a sudden, with all that going on, all the bells and whistles and the tempo, your eyes start to think about, I got to stop the run, and then you completely bust on coverage.
Tight end.
The last guy you're thinking about.
Tight end pop pass off the ride pass. Guys looking in the backfield.
Exactly.
So that's a little taste of what Oklahoma's defense will be up against tonight. But, of course, with the Sooners' background in the Big 12, they've seen a lot of up-tempo, but maybe not quite as fast as Tennessee runs it. Our good friends at Wheels Up bringing in Blake Shelton as our celebrity guest.
Baby Blake.
Coming back from hunting elks, I'm told, to come make some picks with us here. Look forward to seeing Blake. Great to have him with us coming up as well. And we're about to find out. Goalposts have been set up. They split the upright.
No shot.
Rolling double nickels, 55,000.
Yeah, you got a freshman. I think he's having a time of his life. I talked to him earlier. He said, I kicked when I was a little child. So he's going to hope that shows up in a big way here in Norman. Hot as hell will the ball fly for 55. We shall see.
Sometimes you see in baseball those humid days, things start to fly. Don't go anywhere as College Game Day continues first. We have a word.
Arby's has more than just roast beef. And tailgates don't only have to happen here. They can happen here with Arby's snacks and sides. And here with Arby's burgers and fries. The tailgate is wherever you are with Arby's new tailgate meal.
You fix things, right? If someone messes up, you make it okay.
More or less. There's an art to this you may not realize. Thank you, Sensei. They set us up. If he saw us together, they would have us all killed.
What?
Stop him!
Streaming September 27th. Rated R.
fun 99 menu. Always $1.99 each.
ESPN Bet has Seen Green, Steven's A-List. Why can't I have a cool sounding featured bet?
Like what?
Molly's matchups.
I don't love it.
Molly's money lines. They call me the queen of money lines.
Do they call you that?
They should.
Mad Dogs, Dogs. Mad Dogs, Dogs! Yeah, I get it. It's no Steven's A-List.
Get exclusive talent markets and up to $1,000 in bonus bets with the first bet reset on ESPN Bet.
Hey, guys. How we feeling? You ready? Hey, Adams Elementary. Go Rams. I think he needs one, too. What do you think?
This is not just flu protection.
You guys ready to fight some crime?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you go get him, all right?
This is a neighbor looking out for you. Schedule flu and COVID-19 vaccines for you and your family today. Walgreens.
Kelsey, what up?
I think I messed up, Hank. I don't think I can walk away from football.
Say less. I got you. Jason Daniel Kelsey, welcome back to football.
This is a Buffalo Wild Wings.
Exactly. Where you watch all the games while stuffing your face with, like, the greatest wings.
So good.
And all the beer.
There we go. Let's go.
See? B-Dubs is football.
It's football.
It's football.
Let's go, Sports.
Military veteran and USAA member Sam Elliott, I'm Gronk, your new roommate.
Roommate?
Mm-hmm. Wow. I've been trying to join USAA for years.
Gronk, you know it's for the military community and their families.
I know I can't join, but I could live in your house and ride in your truck, both USAA insured. Roomie?
Roomie. USAA, auto, home, life, and bank.
It's Jimmy John's new Mediterranean wraps, made with Sabra hummus cheese, so you can enjoy fresh summer flavors with every bite. Hey, Cloud, psst, beat it. Much better. Now at Jimmy John's.
Let's tell the freaking world.
One of my students is ringworm.
Ringworm?
No, get back. Cancel classes. Burn Abbott down. Hello, Miss Teagues.
Hello, Mr. Eddie. Hope your day's going well. HR is here today, so if anyone has something they want to file, raise your hand. Not about me, about other things.
Make some noise. These are the takeout menus I gave you.
Those were suggestions that we should go out to dinner. You're sick.
Write that down.
Come on.
Whoa.
It just means more. First conference game in the SEC for Oklahoma tonight against Tennessee, top 15 matchup. Vols haven't won a top 15 game on the road since 2006. We'll try to make amends for that. And Josh Heupel's homecoming over the Sooners make a statement and soar up the rankings on what is going to be a hot day in Norman, but everybody electric ready for this one. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Road tested, game ready. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear is more driven. The blimp is flying. What about the field goal attempt, Pat, to give away some money?
I'll tell you what, it feels good out here in Norman, Oklahoma. And you can almost feel that a magical moment's going to happen. We're here with Corbin. Corbin, you're a freshman. What is your major?
Sports management.
Okay, have you ever kicked anything before?
Not until today, no.
Okay, well, that's great news for me, terrible news for you. What are your thoughts on kicking as a whole?
Kicking on a whole, I think it's pretty easy. You just gotta do it. That's plain and simple.
Have you ever said anything negative about a kicker before?
All the time, every Sunday, every Saturday, and every Friday, too.
What are some of the things you say to these kickers, Corbin?
It's just easy, you know. I think anybody can do it, you know. You just watch one YouTube video and just go and kick it.
All right, Corbin, all right, enough. All right. Corbin, 33 yards. It looks a little shorter here today, I will
Definitely
say.
shorter.
Kirk Herbstreit will be on the hold. Stanford Steve will be on the call down there. Corbin,
have a throw.
$55,000 on the line here.
All right.
For the first ever SEC weekend for Oklahoma.
Here's the thing. I don't know if you watched last week. The dude kicked the ball, and his shoe went further than his ball. The ball went 5 feet right here.
Darius Rucker called him an embarrassment to his family.
So, can you tie that shoe? Make sure that shoe's tight.
Yeah, it's tight. All right, Corbin. Good luck, brother. The world is yours.
You ready? You got this.
Corbin, 55 racks right into your bank account on this hot-ass Saturday. All you got to do is travel a pigskin from your foot through an upright that is tilted to the left.
It's a mere extra point.
Mere extra point. 33 yards. Kicking's easy, Corbin.
Yep, no
Let's
problem.
see it, pal.
They do it all the time. Just don't kick my finger.
He's got good vascularity in his arms.
We got less than 0 shot here, Pat.
He obviously works
less than 0 shot.
Oh.
Hey, you got it in the air.
Not too shabby, Corbin.
You got it in the air.
I appreciate you, pal.
That's good. That's all right. Yeah, give him a shot. It's no shot. I mean, it's not, give him a chance.
All right, for $100,000.
100,000.
100,000 on this glorious Saturday in Oklahoma. The first weekend of the Sooners being in the SEC. Corbin, if you put it through, $100,000.
He just upped it. Aim left. And get a little more ass into it. You got to get a little bit more pop here.
That was what Coach Patty Gasso told me yesterday when I was hitting this softball. A little bit more ass, a little bit more hip activation. I would say if you want to win $100,000, you're going to need a lot more ass, a lot more hip, and a big old foot. Let's go ahead and do this thing.
Come on, dude. Come on. Get serious about it.
Herbie's not sweating.
Herbie is sweating through his suit.
Yeah. They like humidity here.
It's not easy, Corbin.
You're a good man.
That was a good ball. That was a good ball. $155,000 on the line. Corbin got 0 of it. Back to you, Luis.
That's the way it goes sometimes. Look how close. I thought I heard Herb Street say that he was going to match the $100,000 too. So it might have been $200,000. Never know. It was really, really close. Today in the Big House, Michigan and USC. Former Oklahoma offensive lineman Sharon Moore, former Oklahoma head coach Lincoln Riley, opposing sidelines. Got a little bit of a reaction even still. These two typically meet in Pasadena right around the first day of January. It's their first regular season meeting since 1958. Ryan McGee on how this new era matchup is probably one that the granddaddy of them all is having a hard time wrapping its head around.
USC is playing Michigan, but it's September and it isn't a Rose Bowl?
This is the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all.
Trojans versus Wolverines instantly conjures up granddaddy of them all imagery. Bo Schembechler versus John Robinson. Charles White's phantom touchdown in '79. Leroy Horde in '89. USC split title in 2004.
Playing the Rose Bowl, represent a fantastic University of Southern California. I think we just won the national championship.
Today is their 11th meeting, but only their third matchup not played in Pasadena, and only their second outside Greater Los Angeles. The first, USC's only other visit to the Big House on September 27, 1958. The #1 movie at the box office was Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. Today, it's a spat about Big Ten proof. So if your inclination is to spend this game sipping leftover champagne, eating black-eyed peas, and compiling a list of resolutions, don't worry. You won't be alone. But this isn't New Year's. It's a new age.
Seeing that all these other, what amused you there?
Said something.
You all right?
Okay. Yeah.
Well, share with the class. You can't just laugh.
It's about the kickers, I
got
think.
some stuff here. I got some good stuff. He goes, yeah, better than an alternative. I'm like, I'm trying to have some
good contact.
Probably the most the most prevailing storyline in this game is that Michigan's going to Alex Orji, who's thrown a grand total of 7 passes in his career.
Yeah, and there's reason for that. I think whenever you watch those 7 passes, that they potentially would much rely on his legs than his arm. We're talking a phenomenal athlete. And I think what this is going to indicate is that we're going to Sharon Moore football here. I think Wink Martindale on the defensive side is going to have to tighten up, obviously, against Miller Moss. But on the offensive side for Michigan, they now know what their identity is. Davis Warren throws 3 picks last week. They bench him. I think you're going to see a lot of running. So if USC can stop that, I think it's a big day for USC. If they can't, I think we got a cagey one in the big house.
I think one of the greatest hires so far this season was Coach Lynn, the defensive coordinator for USC. Obviously, they were terrible on defense a year ago. This guy has NFL pedigree, coached in the NFL. He coached at UCLA. And this defense now, they're not giving up explosive plays. The biggest pass completion so far has been 24 yards. They're physical up front. But the most important thing, they looked very sloppy a year ago. Not many missed tackles out in space. I think now they're creating an identity. I think that was one of the biggest hires during the offseason.
No doubt. Michigan fans, pay attention, including you, Desmond. I want you to know I agree with the Michigan staff changes that they made. They changed their quarterback.
Yep.
They changed their philosophy of running. Run, pass. I think that'll help them in the Big Ten. And I tell you how much I believe in it. I'm picking them to beat USC now, right now.
Right now?
Oh.
You're not even waiting.
It's my...
You're feeling that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's your super dog? That's your super dog for later. Might as well get it out there.
I'm picking right now. I'm picking out Michigan beats USC with a new philosophy.
All right, that we'll see. And playing at home helps with that new philosophy. But let me just say this about this team. We talked earlier about transfer portal and picking the right guys. USC, with Danton Lenz, an example, they have 6 new starters that they went into the portal. They weren't necessarily high-profile guys, but they fit inside that locker room and done a great job of meshing into that culture. And it brought positive impact, not just on the field, but in the locker room. So I think Lincoln Riley's done a great job of being very selective through the portal. The other thing I think this USC team has,
Lincoln Riley.
The other thing this team has right now, they got a major chip on their shoulder. Caleb Williams left. And with that, a lot of the hype and a lot of the expectation left with him. You know what's happened with Caleb Williams gone? Miller Moss has allowed Lincoln Riley to go back to being the savant, the offensive guru, because the quarterback is following what the coach is asking him to do. So before, it was more make plays with Caleb Williams. Now, there's a rhyme and a reason for the execution that's happening. I'm telling you, SC right now is a dangerous team coming into the big house.
Yeah, well, for Michigan, to me, they really have to play well on defense because it's really hard to win the way they're going to try to play, run the ball, shrink the game, don't let the other team score. And it's so hard now because everybody scores points. Yeah. I mean, in the old days, we used to give up 8 points a year. Now we give up 20 and you're one of the top teams in the country.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's really hard to win running and playing good defense. They did it last year, but they were really good on third down, and they could make plays in the passing game when they needed to.
Yeah, that quarterback was a difference maker last year for
JJ. He's gone.
Yeah.
So many of the stars on defense for Michigan were back, but they haven't performed to standards either. You look at any metric, any stat you want, they're mediocre. They've already given up 6 touchdown passes, and I know they played Texas. They only gave up 8 all season last year. So
that's
the
amazing.
Defense hasn't risen.
This is also an all-uni game. You got to say it's an all-uni game.
Oh, no doubt about it. Get up Big Ten game. And speaking of Desmond talking about not missing tackles. You know who doesn't miss tackles?
Oh, yeah.
Say that name.
Danny Stutzman. Danny Stutzman does not miss tackles, and he does a lot of other things, Jen Lana.
Yeah, was there a rumor that he was dating Sydney Sweeney this summer?
Yes.
And even if that is not on his resume, guys, it is still very impressive. The de facto leader of this Sooners defense, he's collected 300 tackles in 3+ years. That's good for 15th in the country. I talked to Brett Venables earlier this week, who complimented his preparation and his processing, saying he is a multiplier. What does that mean? It means he brings the guys along with him. As he goes, the defense goes. And as I learned this week in the conversation with Stutzman, you never know where a conversation with him is going to go.
He gets blasted. Danny Stutzman, hello. That is one of the best linebackers in all of college football right there.
College football is a sport with a lot of big personalities, and yet you stand out. Have you always been the guy who kind of enjoys being in the spotlight?
I mean, the spotlight is one thing. I think that's just kind of how I am. I think it's just my personality.
You come across as very fun-loving, but the position demands a physical presence and aggressiveness.
Yeah, I mean, I think for myself, I'm able to really, kind of tone it back at times. I think of it as kind of like a switch. I think during the whistle, I'm a different person than who I am in between.
In this NIL era, we're seeing a lot of players with opportunities.
Obviously, there's days where you feel like your hard work doesn't get seen, doesn't get noticed, but it really does here in Oklahoma.
This year, you donated $50,000 to members of the team, specifically the walk-ons. Why did you do that?
I mean, I think that makes all the guys want to play for each other, especially in this day and age. Everything with NIL is about, kind of myself. When I was making that decision to come back, a lot of guys, be in that position and want more for themselves. I mean, at first, I'm not gonna lie, of course I did, but I realized that the position I'm in, I can do something great for the team.
Let's talk about the decision to come back. How difficult was that for you?
So me and Coach V, actually, the first talk, it was like, all right, I'm definitely leaving. But then as time went on, it just didn't really feel right. And Coach V called me. He came to me and said, look, I think you have so many places that you need to get better at. I want to be a part of this team for the SEC the first year. And I think the college experience, you're not going to be able to go back and redo that. I think you only have 4 or 5 years to really enjoy it.
When you announced your return, you were in a video with Brian Bosworth, Oklahoma legend.
It's time to add another chapter to the legacy of linebackers who wore that crimson and cream. It's your turn, Danny boy.
When you think about a player like that and you being in the same conversation, how does that make you feel?
I mean, it's hard because I don't think there's any comparison, how great of a player he was. Yeah, I mean, with such a great character like that, as a great leader on and off the field, I think you kind of look up to it. At the end of the day, I'm still going to be my own player, but that's just someone who you kind of can model your game after, the intensity that he brought every single play. He treated every snap like it could have been his last, and I think I try and model my game like that.
The two of you were obviously featured in that, but there was also a beautiful vehicle.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to keep the Corvette.
What vehicle are you riding in now?
Well, I have a 2009 Challenger. So this is my car. It's not like a Corvette. I like it. I have a lot of stuff in my car of just cool things. I have a crown. I keep a sword in here. Have you ever seen the movie Gladiator? Are you not entertained? Keep a fur coat in there. You want to wear it?
Isn't it a little hot for a fur coat in Norman?
Yeah, but I mean, the weather changes a lot.
All right.
If you need some shades, I got plenty of shades.
This is the full Danny Stussman experience. We talked about legacy. How do you hope people remember your time here at OU?
Hopefully as a good tackler. I think that's what I kind of always focus on is how can I get to the ball, how can I make an impact, and just be a great teammate and a great leader.
Yeah, speaking of legacies, how glorious was the Boz's neck roll in that old video, guys? Danny was disappointed that he wasn't on the Butt Kiss finalist list last year. That is certainly motivating him this season. And when I talked to him about Oklahoma's foray into the SEC, he's excited about the big stage. He says to be the best, you got to play the best. And he thinks this is a great opportunity for Oklahoma to show it belongs. Guys?
And Jen, Stutzman can get the Buckets people's attention by tackling that Tennessee run game.
I tell you what, this guy, Danny, number 28, is a dog, man. Dog. This guy can play. He's a good tackler. He's instinctive. He can play in space. I love this guy.
Big dude, too. Hey, we're going to take Nick back home next week. Wow. Georgia and Alabama, College Game Day.
Can somebody play that?
That's a tough kick.
Right, look at that.
LC?
Big Al.
It's okay.
I'm picking a kicker next week.
Are you?
Okay. Yeah, I want to help out.
We've talked a lot about Oklahoma's first rodeo in the SEC. Utah with its first conference game in the Big 12, about 80 miles away in Stillwater. And Blake Shelton will join us as our celebrity guest picker. LC, mascot headgear, maybe giving him a little misdirection. I'm not sure he'll have firearms up here.
The new Dunkin' Latte is perfect.
Made with coffee milk, which is hard to explain.
I'll say.
Is that Kristen Wiig?
All we need now is a famous person to say how rich and creamy it is. And delicious. And explain it.
The Dunkin' way to latte.
What's this?
Aflac Duck signed me to an NIL deal.
An NIL deal?
It's name, injury, and likeness.
Aflac.
With a name like Prime, an injury like mine, and a likeness so fine, that's a triple threat.
Couldn't we just tell people Aflac pays cash for expenses not covered by health insurance?
If we want people to understand how Aflac helps close that gap, we got to get you to think bigger, coach.
You got to be kidding.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover.
Aflac
is an official sponsor of ESPN College Gameday.
Miss Terry's not going to like this.
Trouble.
Your Wyndham is waiting to help you check things off your bucket list and his. With 24 trusted brands by Wyndham to choose from, Your Wyndham is waiting. Get the lowest price at wyndhamhotels.com.
DSG, family clothing and gear priced to win. Only at Dick's.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. Every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
It's hard to believe, but it's true. Even the liberal media was shocked Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners and illegal aliens.
Every transgender inmate would have access.
Kamala's for they, them. President Trump is for you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Ion. Electrified. Hanguk tire.
What was that?
Nothing. Gorilla Super Glue.
Brush for edge-to-edge coverage and nozzle for precise application all in one. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Hey, Scott, this stuff's perfect for fall, right?
Yep, it feeds your lawn now to strengthen roots all winter for a better lawn next spring.
How do you know all this?
Says it right there on the back.
Yes, it does.
Download the My Lawn app today for lawn care tips and customized plans.
Feed it, lawn. Feed it. Psst, psst.
With Flonase, allergies don't have to be scary. Spray Flonase Sensimist daily for non-drowsy, long-lasting relief in a scent-free fine mist. Psst, psst. Flonase, all good.
It's Jimmy John's new Mediterranean wraps, made with Sabra, hummus, and feta cheese, so you can enjoy fresh summer flavors with every bite. Hey, Cloud, psst, beat it. Much better. Now at Jimmy John's.
Welcome to our Sunday night booth.
Sunday night baseball. Looking for the fans to rock it out tonight.
Welcome to the playoff push with late inning rallies.
Rains it with a walk-off shot.
Signature moments.
Oh my!
And a wild hunt for October.
Every beat could want comes down to this.
Phillies, Mets. Welcome to Sunday Night Baseball. Sunday at 7 on ESPN.
Day in Oklahoma, where it just means more. But the Big Orange comes sweeping down the plane.
All you gotta do is just flip those sons of bitches like this, and then this place goes crazy.
You cats are a broker's dream.
Let's buy them all.
Big dogs of this college football season.
A master at keeping the crowd in. The Soda Schooner is storming into a new era. Less than an hour before the kickoff of your college football Saturday. So much to get to. Blake Shelton. We got all of the picks coming up. Break down Oklahoma and Tennessee on this beautiful morning in Norman. Nice and warm. They'll see Texas later, but they're taking plenty of time to send them the horns down sign. There's DJ Griff.
DJ Griff's been rocking them all morning. All morning. 4 a.m. DJ Griff's out here making it happen. Gamer shows up every week. So.
You know who else is a gamer? Pete Thamel. Got news. Game day check down. What do you have, Peter?
There you go, Peter. Reese. Let's start with Tennessee left tackle Lance Hurd. He is out for tonight's game. That leaves veteran backup Dane Davis protecting Nico's blind side. Let's go to Cal versus Florida State. Star Cal tailback Jaden Ott will return tonight. He missed the San Diego State game last week. And then the big news of the day, Reese, is Cam Rising. He's a game-time decision in Stillwater. He's expected to attempt to play. The one thing we know for certain with the injury on his throwing hand is he's not going to be 100% today. He's going to be evaluated in pregame warm-ups, and they're going to see how he throws. And if he does start, they're going to see how that ball leaves his hand. It's tough with 2 injured fingers on your throwing hand. Isaac Wilson, Zach's little brother, started last week at Utah State for the Utes. He's taken a ton of first-team reps this week in practice. We'll see if we end up seeing him today in Stillwater.
Can Cam Rising catch a break?
Man,
no. They just went into a water cooler and hurt himself.
Yeah.
And so this is what the Utes are up against as they go into Stillwater, where maybe there will be pistols firing for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Utah finding their way for their first conference game
as a member of the Big 12. While talking to the media this week, Mike Gundy was being drowned out by a refrigerator whose compressor was going bad. Now, let me tell you something. Gundy, this is a cat who knows his way around the Home Depot. He immediately diagnosed the problem, went over, used his grown man strength, tilted that refrigerator back, and ordered it unplugged. Please do not try that alone. Now, the problem is getting power to that Cowboy running game has been a little bit more problematic. So no problem. Gundy just went into his toolbox, and he wired together an explosive passing game. But now here comes Utah, who really doesn't mind hitting you upside the head with a monkey wrench.
From the outside looking in, Utah takes a lot of pride in being physical, and I think we have to match that.
It's just grit and determination from Ollie Gordon.
He's kind of a bully back there. That's his style. And so we've just got to, first of all, tackle well and then make plays on the ball at the field.
They pride themselves on running the ball very well, and respect is given to where they do that.
We know that Utah is excellent when it comes to rushing the passer.
Sound, complete, tackle really well, run the ball. So it's going to be a good challenge.
It doesn't matter who our opponent is, but we're going to compete our ass off, and we're just going to play the best that we can.
If we come out fast and physical, punch them in the mouth first, it'll be a great game for us.
Ollie Gordon, Bill Walker winner last year, has had a little bit of trouble getting started. Last year, got like 3.5 yards per carry before contact. This year, it's around half a yard.
Yeah, it's a bit different. And going into the season, the player that was talked about most out of the state of Oklahoma was Ollie Gordon II. Yeah. And if you look at the stats and the film, it'll tell the tale about being a guy who is getting penetrated through his offensive line, and then also they're scheming for him. Last year, to your point, 123.7 yards per game. This year, 45 yards per game. Now, it's going to be a lot of different factors. One of them is that they know he's there, and the other is penetration can absolutely stumble you out of the gates. This guy shoots the edge. He's able to get the thigh board of Ollie Gordon II, and before he even gets started last year, he's able to get around there, hit that hole, break that for 15, 20, maybe even a home run ball. Instead, stumbles out the gates because he gets somebody shot in his legs. He can't do it. How about 7 in the box for 6? They knew Ollie Gordon was coming this year. Game 3 last year, his entire rise to superstardom started. All offseason, all anybody's been thinking is, how do we stop Ollie Gordon II? So obviously that's not great whenever you're outmanned, and then the push and the penetration continues whenever you watch the tape. It shows up everywhere. They moved the line of scrimmage into the backfield. What the hell is Ollie Gordon supposed to do there? Is he supposed to be Chris Angel? Is he supposed to eat a little Pizza Hut? Maybe be a Houdini and balance through people? They've had him struggling to get started in the backfield, and he's never been able to go. But it feels like the Oklahoma State defense doesn't really mind at this exact time, even though they're going to have to figure it out.
Yeah, but in every one of those clips, you see the defense is geared up to stop Ollie Gordon.
Yeah.
They're now scoring 42 points a game instead of 23, which is what they've scored to this point last year, because Ollie Gordon is actually making all the rest of their players on their team better. And Alan Bowman, the quarterback, has done a great job of taking advantage of that with RPOs, play action passes, advantage throws. So they have a better offense because of the way people are trying to stop Ollie Gordon.
Yeah, I tell you what, the way that Utah is going to try to stop them today, I spoke to their DC, Morgan Scalley. He always talks about their identity, their culture. He says RSNB. So I'm going to show you exactly what he means by RSNB. Let's take a look at today's road test presented by Goodyear.
Nailed it.
All right.
Shout out Goodyear.
So let's start with Connor O'Toole. He came in as a wide receiver, gained 25 pounds. Look at him, just raw athleticism, bends the corner, uses his speed and his athleticism to get the sack. Keep an eye on him today. But the safety, I tell you what, Kyle Johnson's about 15 yards away from the play. He's going to get a TFL, but we're talking about relentless pursuit on this jet sweep. Look how the front 7 spills the play to the outside for Johnson to come up and do the cleanup job in an aggressive fashion. I love the way they attack runners. These guys are also ball hawks. Look at Snowden. He's right here at the nickel position over the slot. At this point, he's beat, right? This should be a touchdown. But wait, the referees didn't signal a touchdown because he has great technique keeping that right arm man so the wideout cannot possess it. But then what does he do with the left hand?
Wow.
The left hand said, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and grab this bag right here, because ball hawks, they never give up on plays. I love Scalley's defense, the way they're approaching. Coach, you know better than anybody, defense travels. This is going to be a hell of a game today.
Yeah, I mean, Utah, you think about Kyle Whittingham, the first thing you think of, it's like before Lane Kiffin and you change your style of offense, you think of Nick Saban, you think of running the ball, defense. That's Kyle Whittingham, old school style, and it does travel. their style football, you can take them anywhere. My concern is Cam Rising. I mean, if Cam Rising plays, they win this game. If Cam Rising doesn't play, they lose this game. So they're saying, Pete's saying it's a game-time decision. And if there's anybody who can fight through pain and dealing with the throwing hand with 2 fingers, it's Cam Rising.
Man.
So I will wait to see if he's going to play. If he does, I got obviously a chance to win it.
And we can't reiterate the fact enough. What the football gods have done to Cam Rising, we don't understand at all.
Yeah.
This latest injury, water jug cooler, split
can't catch a break, bro.
On his throwing hand.
Tough.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
He can get an 8th year of college football next year. These two guys, if Rising starts, will be combined 49 years old with 14 years of college football. They will be older than the Bears and Colts starting quarterback.
This Utah defense, though, this is throwback ball.
It is.
This is old-fashioned, butt you in the throat, man. I mean, it's get after it.
Yeah.
And I like watching
I do too.
N stands for nasty.
Look at the grin. Punch you in the throat.
Bunch of people in the mouth.
I like that.
Spend far too much time talking about offense.
You're going to see some people who don't mind fighting each other in the throat tonight in Provo. Whiteout conditions, Kansas State and BYU at LaVell Edwards Stadium. They're going to have the throwback unis to the last time they met in 1996 Cotton Bowl, when a young quarterback by the name of Steve Sarkisian led the Cougars to victory. The quarterback comparison this year, Avery Johnson's been terrific. You know, Jake Retzlaff's actually ahead of him in total offense. Now, he's had a few turnover-worthy plays there as well that he'll have to keep a lid on tonight. And now AT&T, keeping us connected with BYU. Special guest Friday at practice, former Cougar and Super Bowl champion Brian Billick.
What I want you to know is it's that closeness that is the key to you being successful. This today and tomorrow, you have an opportunity to remove any hesitation. And there's nothing like this. That band of brothers standing out in front of 65,000 people, putting it out there with this group of guys that you know have got your back. That is rare. Finish your preparation, remove all doubt. And then tomorrow, when you get Kansas State in here, you got a great opportunity. On 3, Cougs. 1, 2, 3. Cougs! All right, guys. Thank you, Coach. All right, thank you.
Billick trying to get his alma mater ready, and they'll have to be ready for Avery Johnson, who is Coach Chris Kleiman says demoralize his opponent.
Yeah, you know, Avery Johnson, we had him on the show about a week ago. He's really dynamic and explosive with the ball in his hands, but he does most of his damage on the ground. Not a lot of success through there as far as yards per game. He doesn't have one game thus far this season where he's passed for over 200 yards. So if I'm BYU, I'm trying to make him one-dimensional. You're not going to beat us with your legs. You're going to have to stay in the pocket and beat us with your arm, Avery Johnson.
Yeah, I love Avery Johnson, but I think the key is going to be how do we play defense? I mean, they do a great job of playing. Kansas State does a great job of playing the 3-3 stack. They play great team defense. They don't make very many mistakes. They make it difficult for you to sustain drives against them. So I think that's going to be the key to the game, is how they play defense.
And then with that defense, it's going to up and down. You know, in week 1 when they went up against Tulane, they didn't look good. And then against Arizona, they look better. So which defense shows up in this game, I think, will be a big thing.
Quarterback for BYU, Retzlaff, great name. He can move, too. I mean, they're 4.5 over-under at the beginning of the season. They're 3-0 right now. So surprising everybody.
Tough place to play, too.
Only Cam Ward and Jackson Dart have more 20-yard completions than Retzlaff.
He's a player.
He makes big plays for sure. Another guy can make big plays is Shedeur Sanders, and he made plenty in Fort Collins as Colorado beat Colorado State. Buffs come back in here, returning to the Big 12. Now Baylor comes in. What are you looking for in this?
Baylor's desperate, but Colorado, I think, regained some confidence last week in that in-state rival against Colorado State. I think Shedeur Sanders, boy, when he has time to throw, the weapons that he has, they're going to put points up. It's really, to me, whether or not this ends up being one of those games that Baylor can stay with them. I think Colorado wins the game at home.
Talked about this last week whenever we were making the picks, both Coach Saban and I. It was like if Nebraska wasn't a wake-up call for that team as a whole, not just their stars that are going to go to the NFL, in which they have 4 or 5 of them. I think they're going to be first-rounders potentially. But as a team as a whole, they show up in a big way against Colorado State. There's a rumor going around that they're both wearing all-white unis. So I don't know how that works. But
I just get the rules, right?
I honestly don't know. That is floating around the internet. Nonetheless, if Colorado can continue to build on being a team and playing like 3 phases of football, operating together, I think Colorado has a real shot at this thing going forward.
That's an announcer's nightmare, too. Can he be
Imagine Shador would be able to figure it out, I guess.
Yeah, throw it to the wrong colored jerseys. Got Aflac trivia?
Aflac trivia for not you. Everybody else.
Yeah, you're right. Yes.
Who was the last team to win a Power Conference championship in their first year in the conference?
Look at him smile.
Wow.
Like teacher's pet. Like.
Wow, that's a good one.
That's a good one that no one has an answer to. Reese, go ahead.
Not yet.
What do you got, Reese?
We'll have like a Friday first one in the Power Conference. I don't have the answer.
No?
Yeah, no, not off the top of my head.
Well, I think it was back with the Big Eight.
2004.
Virginia Tech?
Bang.
Virginia Tech. Good job, RD.
The ACC, they leave the Big Eight.
Who was the quarterback?
It was not Marcus Vick.
Brian.
It was.
I don't have that.
Who? Brian Randall. Brian Randall.
Yep. And they beat Auburn. They beat Auburn in the Sugar Bowl.
Oh, that's
good Auburn team.
That was a great team.
Jason Campbell, Ronnie Brown.
No. That was
04.
Yeah, Auburn was undefeated. They played
lost
tough.
Yep, played them tough. And that's right.
Yeah, they were scared of the Big East, so they go to the ACC alongside Miami and everybody else. I like that Stanford Steve goes, I don't have that answer for you on this particular card here.
You know what? I was really worried. I thought the Sark nugget about the last time that BYU and Kansas State played. I thought, I might have ruined the trivia question there. Here's the noon 4-box, what you got going. Look at North Carolina. They're starting their third quarterback of the season with Jacoby Criswell going against James Madison.
Watch out.
Wait, there's a West Virginia mention.
Good helmets on West Virginia today.
You okay with mentioning West Virginia?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. I thought we ended that.
Oh, yeah.
Look how sheltered the helmets were.
Yeah,
Good helmets.
There's Dabo and Dave Doran just over a half hour until kickoff between NC State and Clemson. There's big Phil Maffa.
That's a bad Maffa right there. It's a bad Maffa.
You know, Kirk, you and I saw North Carolina State in person. I think they've underachieved a little bit. Grayson McCall's hurt. Now C.J. Bailey.
Enrolled in January. Very early opportunity in his career. See if he can give him a spark.
Might be a little super dog warning there.
Ooh.
Yeah, dog might be howling for the look back.
We got Ray's barbecue.
Locally I see turkey.
Operated for 16 years, Reese.
That looks great.
Got a whole bird here. Got a whole bird.
Red velvet cake and lemon pound.
Oh, you gotta get perfect. Lemon pound cake?
And
red velvet? Get some of that okra there. I love okra.
Hey,
got turkey.
The South has these things. They're called okra.
Oh, wow, I don't even know.
Breakfast phenomenal.
Edamame pepper. Pretty good.
Wow. This is delicious.
It's Jimmy John's new Mediterranean wraps, made with Sabra, hummus, and feta cheese, so you can enjoy fresh summer flavors with every bite. Hey, Cloud, beat it. Much better. Now at Jimmy John's.
Fans change everything. Your passion turns parking lots into rites of passage, ball fields into battlegrounds, and moments into monuments. Introducing Game Change, a way for fans to turn spare change into positive change for the teams they love. Enroll your credit or debit card, take on your rivals in a competition of giving, and turn every purchase into a chance to win prizes. Sign up, choose your school, get in the game. GoGameChange.com.
On a Longing, Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Ramon, what are you doing here? Texting another conference now.
Yeah, but it's like on the other side of the country. It's really, really far.
But you're not even on our schedule this season.
Maybe we can meet you in the playoffs.
That's crazy talk.
You know what else is crazy? Getting all that Dr. Pepper flavor with zero sugar.
But Dr. Pepper doesn't have a questionable secondary like Tech does.
Here, catch!
And that's why you're a mascot.
College football, it's a Pepper thing.
Let's go to our next segment, Fairest Calls, inspired by Geico's fair and fast 24/7 claim service.
Do we have to do the Geico stuff while I'm here?
Yep, we do. Let's play the clip.
Holding, number 53, 10-yard penalty.
This literally happens every game. Can we just skip to the action?
Nope, nothing but fair and fast claims, just like Geico. Here's the next clip.
But I don't play the clip.
Pass interference, number 34.
Wow, doesn't get any fairer than this, boys.
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
We've never spoken, but you've told us many things. That you love stargazing, hate parallel parking, and occasionally your right foot gets a little heavy. The Lexus ES didn't begin in the studio, it began with you.
There are secrets buried beneath this place. Agatha, what is happening? Witchcraft.
The bodies are really piling up.
Feels so good.
A message from the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment.
They say you can't put a price on fun, but they don't know what the heck they're talking about. Fun's now $1.99 at Sonic with creamy queso wraps and more. Take that, they. The Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99.
Your wallet is always in danger. Criminals can hack your information without you even knowing. Introducing Slim Mint, an ultra-thin RFID blocking wallet that keeps your cards and cash protected. Slim Mint uses the latest RFID blocking technology to prevent thieves from stealing your info. It's ergonomically designed to optimize space and keep your belongings organized. With the auto-locking Slim Mint, your cards and money stay securely in place. It has a built-in cash clip and a flexible outer band to fit your additional cards and cash. Call or click now and get Slim Mint for just $29.99. Order in the next 5 minutes and you'll get an instant $10 discount. So it's only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get Slim Mint at this low price. There's a strict limit of 3 Slim Mint wallets while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-610-2018. Call or visit slimmintwallet.com. So call 1-800-610-2018 now.
When it comes to college volleyball, you couldn't ask for a better matchup. Nothing bigger all season.
Both playing their best volleyball.
It's about who can handle the moment.
Can't wait to see it.
Nebraska and Louisville, this sport is exploding. Big one on ABC tomorrow. You'll want to check that one out, 12:30 Eastern Time. Aerial coverage is provided by Goodyear, celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear is more driven. And we've had some kind of warning here. The crowd's been responsive. They've been electric. They've booed every time we've mentioned anything having to do with anybody in the color orange.
I mean, they are
boss's wife on hand.
Dialed in. This has been a great crowd.
Yeah, they've been waiting to get into the SEC for a few years now, and today's the day.
But this many kids just sitting, listening, and then reacting to everything, it is. It's been phenomenal in 120 degrees.
Football. History of football here. Anticipation can go the other way when you have to deal with Nico Iamaleava, who has faced just 3 zone blitzes all season. Now, that might be a first half or a first quarter against Brent Venables' defense tonight. Nico told me this week he expects to see every kind of zone blitz known to man. Big task for the Oklahoma defense tonight, though, is to stop those explosive runs and slow down their warp speed tempo.
While both teams are undefeated, stopping that Tennessee offense will be a huge challenge for the Oklahoma defense.
They're incredibly physical. They've got amazing skill at running back, tight end, receiver. They're really deep.
They move pretty fast. Got a 4-second offense. The scheme in which we play is just hard to defend, especially when we're on tempo. Boom, hit them in the run, and with the pass.
His talent is as good as I've seen.
He understands defensive structures. That's really hard to do as a young quarterback.
Oh, it's a safety! Oklahoma with the stop!
Coach Venables has been doing this since, Clemson days. They do a lot of different things, different things.
You got to be physical. You got to be able to handle the tempo, finding ways to get them out of rhythm. This is a team that's going to punch you. You got to take a punch and be ready to counter punch.
Time now for Best in the Game, brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line. And the Tennessee offense has been something else. They've outscored their first 3 opponents by 178 points through 3 games. That's the highest margin in SEC history, and they are outgaining their opponents by 479 yards a game. Oklahoma's going to certainly raise the bar in terms of a defensive challenge for them, Nick, but this Tennessee offense can beat you in a lot of different ways.
Well, I think the Tennessee offense does about everything you can do to make you defend the field 53 yards wide horizontally and vertically down the field because they're going to take shots. But how do they affect the horizontal part of the game? Every one of their running plays has a advantage throw built into it. So I want to show you on the tape here.
Look at you throwing the tape, baby.
All right, right here you have a running play. All right, that's the first option. They have a bubble to the field, which is the quarterback's second option. And then he's got an X hitch, which is his third option because he has soft coverage. So they're going to make you play in space. Guy misses a tackle, they have an explosive play. Next play, they're going to fake the run, throw a bubble, but now a go. So you put the flat defender in a real run-pass conflict. Do I come up on the bubble? Do I take the guy on the wheel route? Now, they don't complete this flat pass, but that's another explosive play. Now, right here, they have what I call a smoke pass where the slot receiver is going to block the guy, the number one receiver's guy, and you see how much space they would create if this ball gets thrown. Now, Nico hands the ball off here. All right, but if I'm coaching him, I'm saying, why didn't you throw the smoke pass? Because then it never got you on the ground. All right, but this is a way that they make you play in space and make tackles in space, which is very difficult.
Then you throw in the tempo with all that.
And the tempo.
And it's just so much. The one thing that I think is interesting here is it's early in the year. Brent Venables knows this offense. He's used spring ball. He used camp. He used early points of the season to prepare for this offense. So there's a familiarity for these Danny Stutzman and the entire defense. I think that's a huge advantage compared to a team getting ready in 6 days to deal with all that Coach just talked about. And I think a big thing, a chess match with these two, is, as Coach just said, when you have that space, how do you tackle? Because you're going to have short numbers. Are guys going to be able to make plays? This is the fear factor because of the speed that they have in that backfield with Dylan Sampson. The other thing is when they stretch you out, are you going to commit to stopping the run? Here they bring from 5 to 6. When you get that 6th guy down, now you're on islands playing man free because you're worried about that running game. Switch release, and the DBs can't stay with these guys, the vertical stretch that you're talking about downfield. And now, if you're Oklahoma, the X factor is R. Mason Thomas. This guy plays with a motor. He's relentless, and they're going to have to do a great job of getting pressure without always blitzing, without always bringing that extra guy up. But I think it's a fascinating matchup when it comes to these two, with Hypo on offense and with Brent Venables understanding this offensive scheme.
You know, these huge splits create problems.
Absolutely.
Because your defensive backs are so far away from the run game, you can't get run support. And if you play apex players in the middle, they throw the ball over your head. And they're taking shots.
It's like pick your poison.
It's tough, man.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma's defense, you broke it down. One of the biggest concerns for me is going to be how they're going to defend the run. They're going to put an extra man in the box, or they're going to just play them straight up and think that their front three plus their backers can handle the run. I think that's going to be their approach. We've already talked about Brent Venables. He's very familiar with this offense. He knows how to defend this offense. But seeing it real time with Nico at the quarterback position is going to be different. He's a special talent. I tell you what, guys, I think that Oklahoma stays in this game because their defense creates turnovers early. That's what they're going to have to do.
They're a greedy defense, too. I talked about it earlier. Yeah, 10 in the first 3. It leads the country. And obviously, Venables' defense, he talked about it earlier with us, about practicing at that tempo. I think back to when Hendon Hooker had his run with this Tennessee team, with this Hypo offense. And I had a chance to chat with Gabe Davis, who plays in the NFL, and he played for Hypo at UCF. He said, even if you're ready for the tempo and you're ready for it, we're making decisions post-snap on routes from what the coverage is, where the people are. It's a very sophisticated offense that's happening bang, 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 right in your face. And I think Venables is a guy, and Danny Stutzman is a dude that can get their squad ready for it, but you got to be very mature. You got to have a high football IQ, and you got to have a high motor to stop this thing. And I think we're in for it here.
You better be in shape.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to affect the quarterback. I don't care if the crowd affects him. I don't care if the pressure affects him. I don't care if the coverage affects him. You have to affect the quarterback against Tennessee to win the game.
First time Nico's been a true road game.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see, excited to see how he
says he likes that more than playing at home. It is worth noting, very different offensive system. But the last time Venables coordinated a defense against the Hypo offense, 40-6. Clemson put it on Oklahoma. Different offense. Last game, Hypo had his OC here. Let's just. Are we still into the Superdog thing or not?
Here we go, kid.
You know the Superdog thing. I was down 52-0 in the first half. If I don't win today, Nick's granddaughter is picking my Superdog next week. What we're gonna do? Let's go opposite. LC, who you got?
Michigan plus 4.5 versus USC. The new Michigan will test Tennessee's toughness and ball control offense. Will do it. The home crowd and the Big Blue Pride will give Michigan a win. Michigan upsets USC.
Picking them outright, too. I love it. I'm going to go to the Sunshine State. USF, I think, has a quarterback in Byron Brown that can run around and make some plays. His defensive player with a chip on their shoulder. Daz, look how many I'm getting here, Ben. 17 points. I don't mind this great team. They're probably going to win this game, but USF's going to play with a chip on their shoulder today. Look out.
Arkansas State against Iowa State. Arkansas State played Michigan tough last week. So I'm liking 20.5 points with Butch Jones's team. I think he's done a great job.
21
there
today. It moved to 21 this morning. You're getting more.
Oh, good. I want
really?
the 21.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Need any more help, Pat? Come on. I got Marshall. What we talking? Plus 40 at Ohio State? Listen. The Buckeyes are playing to a standard. They will win this game. I think they pull the starters in the third quarter. So Marshall loses, but they cover. So I'm not calling you super dog. You're check down dog. You're getting 5 at a time. That's what he's after.
Buffalo's 1-16 all time against top 25 teams. I don't care. Northern Illinois has been ranked for 2 weeks. We haven't seen them since the Notre Dame game. Plenty of pats on their back. Watch out for Buffalo.
Yeah, Northern Illinois got that dog bone graveyard. How about the Wolfpack at NC State? Getting 19.5 down there against Clemson. I made this pick before the story that we heard from Jen Latta earlier with Dave Doran. The Wolfpack keep this one close, and I'm checking down too, Reese. I'm trying to just get on the board once again, Bub.
But maybe I should take that prize. Marty Smith with a great job on that story.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I'm taking Navy, catching 8.5. They've got a new offensive coordinator, Drew Cronick. He calls it the sling T, using some options, some wing T stuff, lots of misdirection. Drew, I met him when he was the head coach at Lenore-Ryan. Get me on the board, baby. Get me on the board. Like 9.5 here. Herbie's rooting against America today because he's rooting against Navy.
That's a shame, too.
That's something.
We're out here in Oklahoma.
There we go, Tigers. All right, wheels up, making sure we get our guest picker here every week. Jess, we got to start with you.
Reese, this guy is very popular, okay? I can't even hear myself think, but Blake, this is about you. You're back on campus. All the fans are screaming your name, chanting, signs, high fives, pictures to people's grandmothers. How happy are you to be back on campus right now?
I went to high school with some of those grandmothers, I think. But I'm so happy to be here. Look at this. Are you kidding me? Come on.
I mean, I'm about to put you on blast, though. I'm about to put you on blast.
Oh, thanks for that. This is a great environment.
On Pat's show, you made a comment about how not only do you root for Oklahoma, but also Oklahoma State and Tulsa. And he asked, is that legal? Is that legal, y'all? Is that legal?
Listen to me. This is Oklahoma. Anything's legal here, okay? I can do whatever I want.
That's a fact. Well,
that's right.
So much more is coming up on College Game Day, especially this guy's picks, so don't go anywhere.
The truth about DIY is you never really do it all by yourself.
Because this setup took 2 videos and a quick demo.
You can change your color here.
And all of this started here, detoured here, and ended
down here.
And this pizza wasn't delivery. This was.
I wonder if they do have it. We do.
So whenever you start a project,
don't worry.
You're not alone.
We can do this together.
So what are you working on?
The $6 meal deal is here. It starts with Dunkin's legendary coffee, a toasty, melty bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, and a crispy, crumbly order of hash browns. It's kind of the biggest deal in breakfast. The $6 meal deal, available now.
Hi, we're Visible. We offer one-line wireless plans with no hidden fees for just $25 a month on Verizon's 5G network. One flat rate every single month. Unlimited data included. Your wireless should be visible. Cue the confetti. Switch at visible.com.
USAA for the military community and their families.
Cut. Sam, I really need to feel that USAA service. Gronkier.
Grunkier. USAA. You could be eligible if your spouse, parent, or even your grandparents served.
That was it. You're in.
As a veteran, I'm already in. You? I wouldn't get your hopes up, son. USAA. Are you eligible?
It's Jimmy John's new Mediterranean wraps, made with Sabra, hummus, and feta cheese, so you can enjoy fresh summer flavors with every bite. Hey, Cloud, psst, beat it. Much better. Now at Jimmy John's.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
El Derby de Madrid on ESPN Plus. Legends collide.
El Derby promises drama, an element of chaos.
Titans clash. Julian Alvarez and Kylian Mbappe make their derby debut.
El Derby, a capital rivalry.
A match that defines the city. Sunday, September 29th, Atlético de Madrid, Real Madrid on ESPN+.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aids for only $297. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aids for only $297 or opt into our payment plan of 4 easy interest-free payments. Plus, if you call now, we'll add a portable charging dock and your shipping is absolutely free. The Nano hearing aids come with outstanding lifetime customer support and a 45-day money-back guarantee. Supplies are limited, so you must act now.
Call 1-800-780-1444. That's 1-800-780-1444.
College Game Day is built by the Home Depot. How doers get more done. And in part by Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly.
Roughnecks leading the crowd here at Oklahoma. Taking on Tennessee tonight. Getting to see Blake Shelton, our celebrity guest kicker here. The time is coming. Look what Dawn Staley did last week. 9-3. Wow. South Carolina women's basketball coach setting the standard for guest pickers. That's what Blake has to shoot for now. We're delighted to have Blake Shelton with us for Coors Light.
Thank you.
Saturday selection. Tremendous to be here.
Honored.
We're average.
Thank you for the invite.
Everything's legal in the picks, too. So let's get things started.
And in Oklahoma.
A game that is a Big Ten game that feels like the Rose Bowl, USC and Michigan. Michigan with Colston Loveland. Their star tight end questionable for this game. Who you got, Des?
Yeah, with Colston kind of questionable and the quarterback change, I think there's just too much going on right now in Ann Arbor. I think the Trojans walk away with a victory over Michigan.
Oh, wow.
Are we okay? Like, this is like the first time ever he's picked against Michigan.
Ever.
It's a big day.
Wow.
You know I'm on medication for
yeah, okay.
Right? Never seen that. Never seen that. That was awesome. Never seen that.
I'm right with you. I think USC, if their defense is real, which it looked that way, I think I'm going with USC.
I'll tell you what. Lincoln Riley is one of the biggest brains in the history of football. Every town Lincoln Riley goes to, they love him. They appreciate him. They're thankful for the football that he puts on the field, and they're 1-0 in the Big Ten after starting today. Lincoln Riley, dog. He's a great coach. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Listen to me. I know you guys all know what you're talking about, your sports dudes. I have to live here in Oklahoma, and there's no way in hell I'm picking Put me down for Michigan. Put it on there.
Yes! Hell yeah! That's right!
Michigan was my super dog.
No, enough said.
I'm not changing my mind.
No way.
Michigan.
You know,
yes!
I said preseason I really like the potential of this Michigan team, but I think right now what's going on with quarterback, and I think Dan Tinlin against inexperienced quarterback and run obvious offense for Michigan, and I think Miller Moss is going to play well. First career start on the road, true road game. I'm going with SC as well in Ann Arbor.
Road game tonight for Michigan State. Jonathan Smith's got the Spartans off to a great start. Red bandana game at BC. Yeah, I like what I've seen so far from the Spartans, especially on the road against Maryland, but they've lost some players, lost some wideouts coming to this game, and this is a red bandana game for BC, so I'm going with BC.
Well, you know, I love Michigan State, and they've done a fantastic job to get to 3-0. But to me, BC is like the team in the country that Bill O'Brien has been able to, you know, make a significant, you know, successful team with the quarterback, and I got to take BC in this one.
Bill O'Brien got blessed in those beautiful Alabama waters by you, Nick Saban, and I think he is a phenomenal coach. I think he's going to have the boys respond for what happened last week with Missouri in the red bandana game. Obviously, they're playing for something much bigger than we could ever fathom. I think Jonathan Smith and Michigan State are going to be good, but I like Boston College today at home.
Are we supposed to have good reasons to pick?
No.
Thank God, because you just said a whole bunch of stuff.
No, none of those were good either. Yeah.
Okay, I'm picking Boston College.
There you go.
Okay, just because.
That's it. That's great.
Okay.
That's a great reason.
That's a great pick. They just like to talk. No. Boston College.
I'm going with Thomas Castellanos. He and the offensive line have been great this year. I think it's one of those physical, low-scoring games, kind of like you said with Utah and Oklahoma State.
Michigan State.
Michigan kill us. Hey, give me real quick with Georgia Tech, Louisville.
I'm going with Louisville. I think they're going to win a close game.
You know, Louisville's kind of flying under the radar this year. You know, we haven't talked about them much.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech's had some problems on defense, so I'm going to go with Louisville.
Same thing with Louisville last year with Braum. They seemingly are going to be very good under his regime. But for me, Roman Reigns, the only tribal chief, was back in the Georgia Tech Stadium.
That's good.
So
reason.
Georgia Tech is going to continue to do their thing this year. I like Georgia Tech.
Yeah. Oh, I love the punter for Louisville.
How about that?
Yeah. I'm going with Louisville.
He's a good punter, man.
Yeah.
He's a good
Great.
punter.
Yeah. That's a great reason. It's going to say Louisville has outscored their opponents 114-14 this year. Enough said. Louisville.
And they get off to great starts. And I think that's one of the reasons I think they're able to win this football game today. And Coach, I'm with you. Kind of fly. People don't, when you think of the ACC, no one really talks about Louisville. Jeff Braum doing an amazing job there. A lot of athletes. I got Louisville.
5th game for Tech. Third game now for Louisville.
Yeah.
They've only played 2 so far. Stay at the Tennessee tempo here for Kansas State and BYU. I tell you what, Avery Johnson is a dynamic dual-threat quarterback. I think he's going to do damage with his legs. They're going to force him to throw the ball. It's going to be a close game in Provo. I'm going with Kansas State.
Yeah, I got to go with Kansas State, too. I just think Avery Johnson's one of the most dynamic players in the country, and I think he's going to do nothing but get better. So K-State all the way in this one.
BYU quarterback Retzloff is a dog.
Yep.
Avery Johnson is as well quarterback for Kansas State. Avery Johnson has better hair than
That's
Retzloff.
a good reason.
So I'm going to pick Kansas State because of the hair.
I do. That's a matter of opinion, though. But I
No,
agree
it's certainly better. If you saw it, you would agree.
No, I agree with you. I'm going with Kansas State.
That's a great reason, boy. Go with Kansas State. They're going to win. Avery Johnson, quarterback.
A lot of Kansas State there.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
We're here for the ball club.
Thank you, sir.
And I mean this because I think BYU at home at night, Kalani Sitake has a team. I think they're going to make Avery Johnson get into obvious passing situations. And their own quarterback, he's throwing it around. I got BYU winning this upset at night in Provo.
Yeah, 10:30 Eastern time on ESPN. What about Baylor and Colorado? Tell you what, the way that Colorado looked against Nebraska was terrible, but then they bounced back, went on the road, looked dominant a week ago. I'm going with the Buffs. I think they found something.
Yeah, I like Colorado in this one, too. I think Coach Prime is, one of my favorites, but I really do like the way they played last week. With all the controversy that they had to bring the team together, hopefully this gives them confidence moving forward.
How do you handle success, I guess, is what we're going to learn about this team post-Nebraska, obviously 2 weeks ago. I like Colorado getting a big win, and they're both not wearing white. I've been told.
Oh, okay.
Matter of fact, they're going to wear different color
It
uniforms.
wouldn't make much sense.
Yeah, well, good white uniforms over at both of these teams I saw in the interview.
Yeah, put me down for Coach Prime. I love it. I'm swept up in it. It's Colorado for me.
Finally, not so fast.
Okay.
It's official. All these there. Kansas State.
Colorado and Baylor.
Colorado. I got Wheeler defense. Upsets Colorado.
Baylor.
Wow.
We're going with Baylor.
Wow.
Okay, then you get to save the graphic. I'm just going to go with the best player in the country, the best player on the field tonight, Travis Hunter. He'll be the difference in this game. I got Colorado.
Look at that.
All right, Arkansas and Auburn typically play sort of, wild, wacky games. So you got Auburn switching quarterbacks. Bobby Petrino calling the plays at Arkansas. I got Arkansas.
I'm taking Arkansas here, too. I know it's a tough place to play, but I really like their quarterback, Green, man. He can do a lot of good things. He makes a lot of big plays. I love Auburn playing at home, but I'm taking Arkansas in this one.
That Auburn-Cal game scared me a little bit, and I don't know why. It just feels like it did. So I'm going with Arkansas. Woo Pig Suey all day, pal.
Yeah, man. I got a couple of country music buddies, Joe Nichols and Justin Moore, and they'd be super pissed off at me if I didn't pick
We don't want that.
Arkansas. I don't want that. I'm going with Arkansas.
Especially Justin Moore. He'll get you. Yeah, when he's mad, nobody wants to deal with him.
Tasmanian devil.
Yeah. Thank God he's on our side.
Yes.
Yeah.
Today, this week he is.
Yeah, we'll see. Arkansas outscores War Eagle. That was a nice pick. Only one not so fast. Yeah.
How about this? DJ Durkin, the defensive coordinator from Auburn, and Bobby Petrino, the offensive coordinator from Arkansas, on the staff together last year at Texas A&M with Jimbo Fisher, and today they're going against each other. I'm going to go only because it's at home. I'm going with Auburn. I know they're figuring out the quarterback situation, but I think they're tough to beat on the road.
We've got a lot of 5 against 1. We might set a record for 5 against 1. That's okay. The show. Rutgers, Virginia Tech.
What I like about Rutgers is that the way they run the ball. They're the #1 rush offense in their conference, and they're they're gritty. So I got Rutgers pulling off a big one against Virginia Tech, Coach.
I'm going to go with Virginia Tech. I think when you have sort of a thunderbolt like them getting upset by Vanderbilt, that kind of brings your team together and they bounce back. So I'm going to go with Virginia Tech.
A lot of returning starters for Virginia Tech this year. High hopes for me, and I think a lot of people for them making it to the 12-team playoff. But, they get their asses beat by Vandy, and it's like, wait a minute, does this team stink? I don't think so. I think the veteran leadership gets them back into it. I think Virginia Tech beats a tough Rutgers team.
I'm going to go with Virginia Tech because Nick Saban just said it.
Smart.
That's a good one.
It's hard not to do that.
I changed it from this. He said that?
You haven't been following my picks.
There we go.
I'm going with Virginia Tech because Blake Shelton said it.
Damn right. Hail right.
Hail right.
That's right.
As much as he's a genius, have you seen his picks this year?
I'm about to say, ask his granddaughter.
I never look at another man's picks.
Smart life.
I'm going Kyle Monangai, and I'll tell you, that Rutgers offensive line, Des, you mentioned this being kind of an old school physical game.
Yeah.
I think Rutgers, that's an advantage for them. Monangai, I think, is the difference.
The Dallas mayor wore a T-shirt that said TCU inhales briskly. Or sucks. TCU SMU Iron Skillet game. Who wins it?
I'm going with the Horned Frogs in the close one.
Yeah, I like TCU. SMU's got these quarterback issues where they're trying to play 2 guys, new guy. Nobody knows what's happening. I like TCU.
I like new guy. SMU, actually, they'll move the rock. I like SMU to win.
TCU's got some badass helmets, boys. If y'all seen it.
Yes, they do.
That's another good reason.
TCU.
Finally, another not so fast. I got 2 on you now. SMU wins the big one in the city of Dallas. Big game.
This is a huge game in the city of Dallas. I liked SMU early. I'm with you, Coach, about the quarterbacks, just trying to figure out where they are. I'm going to go with TCU.
All right, not far from here in beautiful downtown Stillwater, Oklahoma. Utah and Oklahoma State in the Big 12 showdown.
I felt good about this pick earlier in the week because I thought Cam Rising was definitely going to play, but listen to Pete Thamel. They say that he may attempt to play. But I still love the way they play defense. I think they're just really gritty. Defense travels. I'm going with the Utes.
I think even if Cam can play, having that kind of injury on your throwing hand may affect how well he plays. So I'm going with Oklahoma State.
Does that hurt your feelings?
Unbelievable. They booed your ass. Now, Papa is maybe making the wrong decision there because I believe that Whittingham, no matter who's at quarterback, is going to be able to stop Allen Bauman and the boys. So give me Utah over Oklahoma State. Strictly due to that.
I just got back yesterday from an incredible week I spent in Utah out there elk hunting. Had a great time. Love it. It's beautiful. I'm not picking against Oklahoma State, though. Oklahoma State. This guy right here. What are you talking about? I know your parents. I know all your parents.
Utah ate the pregame meal at Eskimo Joe's. That's enough for me. Eskimo Joe's, Utah winners.
I said earlier, if Cam Rising plays, Utah wins. If he's not able to go, they'll lose. I'm going to just hope that he's healthy and he's going to be able to play. I'm going to pick Utah to go on the road and win the game.
And the marquee game, the one we're here for, Tennessee and Oklahoma. The last time Oklahoma was a touchdown underdog at home, the last game before Bob Stoops arrived. It's been a while. Tennessee or Oklahoma tonight?
It's a tough pick. I think that Oklahoma's defense is going to get it done early, but I think Tennessee's offense, man, Josh Heupel is a silent savage when calling the plays. I'm going with Tennessee to win.
I don't think Oklahoma's secondary's been tested like they're going to get tested. I don't think they've been tested on the perimeter like they're going to get tested. I'm going with Tennessee as well.
for the first time in his collegiate playing career, is going to have to walk into an opposing stadium that's going to be packed out screaming, Boomer! Boomer! Tennessee! Not today. Give me good Rocky time. Rocky time. Tennessee! Come in here and win a big one to welcome Oklahoma to the SEC.
Have you ever picked a road team?
It's first time. We've got 2 firsts.
That's your first time. Exactly.
I haven't picked the right one yet. I'm so sorry.
What do you got, Blake?
You guys are awesome. I shot your gun.
Listen to me. I got this.
I'm so sorry.
I grew up, I was born and raised in this place where if you drive from the big cities to the small towns,
Hello, xin chào các bạn.
rural areas,
Ngày hôm nay mình
if you
sẽ
look at people's flagpoles, you think you are living in the state of OU. In 1987, my sister sitting right there,
hello, sister,
gave me the Brian Bosworth strap in my hair. Put it on camera. Where's the camera at?
Right there.
You got it's a Brian Bosworth. There it is. There is no way in hell I am picking against OU, baby! We got this! We got it! Woo! Let's go!
LC, what do you got, buddy?
Boomer!
Yes! What do you got, LC?
That's great.
Listen.
That's good.
Oh, sorry.
Since World War II, Oklahoma has won more games than any other college football team. 703. Damn. And they're a big league program, so they're going to be tough to beat. Give me Smokey.
Oh, no. You guys are all being nice. They've been so nice.
That's Smokey.
Coach Gasso, the softball team. The state is so good.
Representing for the home-standing Sooners. Tennessee hasn't won a game like this since 2006. Maybe Blake's on to something. Great